All right, this should be getting live soon. And let's see. We are live. All right. So, we are just hanging out now. And, yeah, okay. What's up, guys? Happy Sunday. I am hanging out. I got a little stack of records here. I don't know if I'm gonna get flagged for copyright, so I'm doing my best to keep the volume low. So this is the first stream, so thank you guys for all being here. Thanks. Yes, Johnny Cash. The Man in Black. What's this? Wheelburries. I don't think I do have anything by them. As a kid, my family had one. Yes. It was a 7-inch, I believe. Yes, the Metallica video was awesome to make. I am listening to this ridiculous Lester Lannon and his orchestra, Twisting in High Society. This is a dummy record that I use. These records here are all just kind of to create the illusion of a large stack of records. These were given to me from a garage sale at one point. So I don't really, there's not much in here that I really listen to. It's just create depth. And I just put a record, you know, like that. So anyway, little secret here. Whoa. All right, what do we got here? Some Stevie Wonder, that'd be great. Oh, I used to love U2 back in high school, but now I have a hard time listening to them. It's kind of funny how I did a 180 on them. But I still like their first 3 albums, October, War, and Boy. Oh, thanks, Ernest. I have not checked out the new King Cruel, but I've heard some of it, and I love that guy's voice. It's amazing. Listen to Sgt. Pepper's, yes. What was it like doing LA Noir? LA Noir they spent so much time on my hair because they needed it to be parted a certain way. But they couldn't have any like skin showing, otherwise it would create like a divot in the motion capture. And so they had to like, they put in temporary hair color and they like really made it stiff and like no fly hairs. And then I went into this all white room with probably half a dozen different cameras. No, more than that, like 4 dozen cameras all over the place. And I just kind of, it was just my head. They put like a green scarf over me, and then I just said my lines, and then they gave me some more lines from a speaker. I don't even know where these guys were. I was just in there by myself, and I did my lines, and I did really kind of funny lines. If you've ever played Grand Theft Auto, you bump into someone and they say, "Hey, watch it, buddy." So I got to do all kinds of stuff like that. But it was fun. It was fun. How do I feel about Tom Petty? Ah, man, he made some amazing songs, and on top of him dying, which is awful, just not knowing if he was alive or dead was awful in itself, and I can't imagine what his family must have gone through. It's just terrible. I mean, he went way too young. I was surprised he was in his mid-60s, because for some reason I thought he was older than that, but he had so much more life ahead of him. And to think he was just at the Hollywood Bowl. That's, man, it really bums me out, actually, because I never got to go check out a live show of his. But I will now be actively collecting more of his albums because I don't have enough of his. Let's see, what else we got here? What's up? Whoa. I was just reading something. Oh man, I cannot keep up with all these. Oh yeah, would I be down for the vinyl release of Christine? I did see that. I forget who puts that out, but yeah, honestly, I don't have a strong connection to that movie. I don't think I've actually ever sat down and listened to it, but that would be a great one to check out. Is that I can't remember if that's a Carpenter film or not, but I think it is that. Now I'm if you guys know, let me know. Yes, I do need to review some Led Zeppelin. You know, I'm not sure why people don't care about cast albums anymore. That's an interesting thought. It's soundtracks definitely are big up there, but I think the original purpose of cast albums was like a memento to relive the show, because let's say the heyday of musicals, the golden age was 1950s, and you know, reliving the musical really wasn't that easy. You know, you couldn't go to see like a film version of it until like maybe years later. So I think that was the only way to kind of relive those moments. And now, yeah, we just they're not as. I mean, maybe Hamilton is a different example there, because I've seen that go for that. That's kind of a valuable thing now. But yeah, it's interesting why cast albums aren't that popular. I would like to review some more ELO. I have my eyes set on Out of the Blue because that's one of my favorite records. What about the gold record? That's a good question. I don't know what that is. I got that off of eBay. I actually ordered 2 of them, but it's vacuum metalized and it looks like a gold record. And you know, I originally wanted to get an actual gold record, one of those award-winning things, but they just go for so much money. I just couldn't see myself spending $300 for a prop like that, so I just kind of made my own. I used to drive a 57 Chevy when I lived in Santa Cruz area. Our family still has the car. I just don't drive it. I don't have anywhere to put it in LA. I love the Velvet Underground. I haven't heard St. Vincent yet. Do I ever get tired listening to the classics? Only classic rock radio. Classic rock radio tends to just play the same old stuff all the time. So I don't tire of the classics because the album experience is always great, and you can never, I just never find I get enough of that. It always opens up every time I listen to some stuff like that. Stevie Ray Vaughan, he's a phenomenal, or was a phenomenal guitar player. I haven't really given him that much of my attention beyond his hits that have been on the radio. It's just, he's just never been on my radar. But I should look into more of him. I do have lots of Queen. I can't remember exactly. I don't think I have all their albums yet. And that box set came out. That was pretty cool, but I didn't pick that up. I've only listened to, have I listened to the new King Gizzard albums? Only the Flying Microtonal Banana. I haven't listened to the other ones yet. Hey, I was just in Greece. Hello from Greece. Hello from the United States. Did they complete their 5-album promise? I guess I didn't necessarily lose interest, but I don't follow them regularly, so there's a lot of great albums coming out. I should look into that. I haven't. I guess initially, I thought that was kind of a large task to do 5 albums in 1 year. So I guess I was waiting till they all came out. So if they've all come out, I should probably go check out the other 4. Yes, I want to check out the new St. Vincent. So the vinyl pad is part of my house, but it's in a separate, it's in a converted garage that's detached from the house. Originally it was a set. You can probably still take down these panels, but the bar is built into the space. So when you walk in here, it feels like a room. So it's we do come hang out in here even when I'm not taping. But I still need to finish the half that you don't see, and then it will be a really, really cool space. Why do videos have curved edges? It's just to create the idea of looking at an old TV. Most TVs, tube TVs, never give you like a perfectly square image. They always kind of round it on the edges, and it's just to kind of separate it from the pack. It's just an aesthetic thing. Who is my favorite Beatle? Oh, that's too tough. I'll say that it fluxes a lot. It just depends what mood I'm in. I mean, I have a tendency to kind of gravitate towards George Harrison, though. I think I mostly relate to him and kind of who he was. Sadly, Pink Floyd, I need to dive more into. I love Dark Side of the Moon. I love The Wall. I really want to check out Piper at the Gates of Dawn. I think that's correct. Metal is an awesome album of theirs. I really haven't given them enough attention, and they're an amazing band. What kind of turntable do I use? I use several. This is a Yamaha, and then I have a Audio Technica LP120, and then I have that one I reviewed. I can't remember right now. I'm blanking on it. Recommendations for a first vinyl record. Ooh, that is a tough one. I would pick an album that means a whole heck of a lot to you, and for me, that would be Weezer's Blue Album. You want something that is, that means a lot to you, because it's having the record is the closest you can to be like owning like an original movie prop if you're into a movie kind of a thing. Do I have little balls attached to you? I'm not sure if I do. I don't think so. Let me switch this thing over here. Whoa. Sorry, I'm reading these comments here, guys. Give me a second. I just lost where I was. Crap. I haven't seen the new Michael Jackson Scream album. The Strokes are great. Do I like the Germs? I can't say if I do or not. I don't know enough about them. Where do I think rock is going? It's definitely going, I don't know where rock is going, especially if you look at a band like the Foo Fighters, if you consider that rock. I don't know. I feel like most of what you hear today on modern rock stations, they're playing stuff from 20 years ago, and the new stuff doesn't sound that different. I think where it's interesting is where like Bon Iver is going in terms of sort of going the more electronic route, that sort of thing. That's interesting to me. Blending of genres more. I think that's interesting. I think hip hop's way more interesting right now than rock is, unfortunately. I don't know. I mean, I think there's great bands out there that don't get played on the radio, like King Gizzard, for an instance. I think they're doing great stuff, but yeah, I don't know where rock's going. Do I cringe when I see vinyls stacked? When I see vinyl stacked on top of each other? Yeah, I do. I don't get it. It does bother me. I go to a lot of thrift stores, and some stores that's just how they do it. And so I try to rescue records that way. But if I see someone I know who does it that way, I try to, in the best way possible, recommend that they turn them over. But most of the time, it's not an issue. Am I going to review the Beach Boys Smile album? Yes, I definitely will get into the Smile sessions. I want to do that. Neutral Milk Hotel, yes. Airplane Over the Sea, I love that album. Meant a lot to me in college. Ween, that is a good question. I don't know if I'll get into Ween. I haven't seen a lot of response from people asking for Ween, but a funny story is when I used to go to the record or the music shop in the store, I would always look for Weird Al and Weezer, and Ween was always in that area. So I was always curious about who Ween was, but again, I never bought an album of theirs, so there you go. Favorite album of 2017 so far? Oh, you know, I keep thinking about that and I don't have a great answer for that, but I will definitely think more of that in December. Hey, Love from India, hi. Are you gonna do a metal or black metal review for Halloween? I hadn't planned that. Honestly, this whole year's been crazy. I'm actually in the middle of writing 3 reviews, but the local record shop near me, the guy is very knowledgeable on metal and black metal, so I hope to at least educate myself more on that. The Growlers, they're an LA band. They were just at the Palladium, I think, but I don't know much about them. Okay. Yeah, Wu-Tang would be fun. I never actually dived into them, so that'd be a great experience to check out some of their albums. Can review? Yes, I have plans to review The Wall. That is high on my list of Pink Floyd albums. Favorite band? Default answer, I'm gonna just say Weezer, but that changes with time. I probably have 5. Yeah, I mean, I always go back. I mean, I'm nostalgic. They meant a lot to me, definitely. But at one point it was U2. U2 was one of my favorite bands, but not anymore. Yeah, I saw that REM's re-releasing Automatic for the People. I actually own an original pressing of that. I somehow was able to find one at a garage sale, not knowing that it's worth ridiculous amounts of money. And that would be interesting to compare that pressing to this new pressing. The Eagles are reissuing Hotel California. I did not know that. But yes, the Stones mono box set, that is definitely intriguing. I actually just picked up their Satanic's Majesty's Request, the 2 LP, 2 CD set. That thing is pretty cool. I'm definitely going to do a review on that. Have you ever given any thought to doing an As You Were review? I am blanking on what that is right now. Oh, if I could bring back one musician from the grave, who would it be? Oh, that is, I don't know, I guess Buddy Holly. That's my first thought. I don't know. He had such a promising career. But there's probably a more thought-provoking answer than that. You know, it would be kind of cool to see what some of the classical composers would be making today, like with modern instruments and stuff. Like, that's a scene I always loved in Bill and Ted's, when Mozart is in that music shop and he's going, he plays around with the sequencer on the keyboard like that. That was pretty cool. So King Gizzard has released 3 of 5 so far. Okay. Can I recommend any old obscure albums? Not off the top of my head right now. I think I need some more coffee to do that. Hey, Pakistan. Hello, Pakistan. Let's see. How many original Beatles albums do I own? Like, if you're talking about original UK pressings, I only own Sgt. Pepper's. Well, I do own original US pressings, but most people don't care about that. But I do have all of the major releases as UK pressings. When I picked up that Beatles collection box set, I did a review on that. I got it at a garage sale for 80 bucks. I couldn't pass it up. But all those were from the 80s, like mid 80s, those pressings. So they're, you know, they're thinner, but they sound great. Oh, you're welcome, Abel. Do you enjoy any of the old crooners like Sinatra and... Oh yeah, that is my bread and butter. I love crooners, bachelor pad music. That is where I live. Sinatra. I love Tony Bennett. Julie London. Love her. Nat King Cole, another one of my favorites. Dean Martin is great, but it's hard to find a really good album of his. So much of it was just, I don't know. He didn't have the best albums in my opinion. I know there's more people I'm forgetting, but yeah, I love that stuff. Can you do George Harrison's All Things Must Pass? Yes, I want to get into that. I don't own a copy of it. When, I don't know. I actually keep track of people's requests, and the more votes I get, those come up first. So right now I have Radiohead, and then after that I think is a Green Day album. I don't know. I could look it up if you guys care. What do I think of the Velvet Underground? Love the Velvet Underground. Patti Smith, I don't know enough to give a good opinion. The Stooges, I really like Raw Power, I think is the album. And then the Strokes. The Strokes are great. I think I just have This Is It though. I should check out more of their work. How to be as classy as me? Yeah, you get. Do I go to shows? I don't go to enough shows. I tend to stay home a lot, and just if I'm not working on this show, I'm editing something else. So I put a lot of time and effort into this show, so a lot of my free time is dedicated to that. So yeah, I don't get out. I don't get out much. I don't have much of a life. Are you familiar with Paul and Linda McCartney's Ram album? Yeah, I own Ram, and I need to. That's one of the higher requested songs or albums that I need to review, and I definitely will. Oh, and I just got screwed up again. Sorry about that. Where are we here? Sorry guys, I got screwed up again. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I think. Listen to Pup. Okay, I'll check them out. Do I have any hobbies besides record collecting? That's a good question. I used to love to work on cars. I don't do that anymore. I work on my house, which is like a really big, elaborate car. There's electrical, there's plumbing, there's body work. So I work on that. But yeah, vinyl's sort of taken over my life. And a hobby I really do enjoy is going to garage sales and thrift stores and just like looking for mid-century vintage stuff. I love that. But I like tabletop gaming. Growing up, I never got into D&D, but I liked light role-playing games like Warhammer Quest, Hero Quest, Battle Masters. I never got into Warhammer, the army thing, but I tried it and I enjoyed it, but I just never got into it. But I enjoyed painting all those little figures. Those are fun. Do I know Vinyl Eyes? I don't know him, but I know he's close by. I just haven't reached out to him. He's the one doing ads for super unknown indie bands. Yes, buying vinyl from thrift stores is like, yes, exactly. Buying vinyls from thrift stores is like a rescue mission. I've definitely rescued some awesome vinyl. What's my thoughts on those cheap Crossley players? You know, they're just picking up where record player manufacturers were doing in the 60s, just producing just cheap turntables, portable, that look cool but are functionally stupid. But that being said, there is one player that they make, one turntable that is like a Techniques that's decent apparently. But yeah, they're not for vinyl lovers. They're just for people who have like 2 or 3 records, and I don't know. It's I don't want to say posers, but it's a gateway. Hopefully people will get into vinyl and want to upgrade from a cross sleeve. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that they're made so poorly. Thanks Eric. Check out Quebec and the Mollusk from Ween. Okay. I do enjoy Oasis, actually. Hey Geek, do you have any plans for reviewing any Porcupine Tree Steven Wilson album? Oh, yeah, I don't know. Send, you know, I'll definitely put it on my list. Parlophone or Apple? Oh, let me throw in a different record here. All right, what do we got? Let's just do this real quick. Some gateway drugs. All right. Okay, any tips for getting into selling, trading vinyl? I would go on to Discogs. That's a great place to do it, and read through the forums, be part of the community there, buy some records off of there to see how it all works. Super easy to upload your collection and stuff. Have you ever bought them? Oh, yeah. Have I ever sold a record and not got much back from it? Yeah, I ended up selling my Bruce Springsteen box set that I did a review on, and I did okay. I didn't get what I paid for it, but I definitely got a lot in trade. Part of it was the condition of the box just was toast, and I didn't realize that when I bought it. So, but mostly I try to go for trade because you get more money when you do trade rather than cash. When's the Mad Villainy coming? I don't know. I need to pick up the album. Do you like Frank Zappa? I don't know if I like Frank Zappa. I thought I would like him. I like Mothers of Invention, but lately when I've been listening to... I guess my point is I didn't realize Frank Zappa was... like his stuff is like kind of... they're almost like comedy albums, and I wasn't prepared for that. But I need to give him some more spins and listen to some more of the more well-known albums of his. What's the most you would pay for a used record, or what's the most I have paid? You know, I used to have this thing where I wouldn't want to pay more than $1 for any record, but now I'm at a point where I will pay, you know, I'll pay $20, $30 for a, oh, got a message, for a decent record. But the most I've paid, I bought this, the most I've paid was I think back 10 years ago in England, they put out an Elvis, they re-released his #1 hit singles on 10-inch vinyl. And I had someone buy all the singles and then bring them back to the US for me. And I think I paid like $250 for that. And that was one of those things, like I didn't realize it was gonna be that much money, and then my friend had already paid for it, so I had to pay him. So I was kind of stuck with it. I've never played it. I don't even think it's worth that much now, unfortunately, because as you know, Elvis records have really plummeted. If you enjoy Weezer, have you ever listened to the Roswell Kid? No. Okay, I will check them out. Do you like Jay Retard? I think I do. I don't have an album of his, so I know I know some of his songs. I just... do I think disco sucked? Some of it does. Some of it does. Yeah. There's a lot of really bad stuff, and I think what made disco suck was all these ridiculous, like, Yuletide disco, Disco Duck, Disney Does Disco, where you just got this gluttony of terrible music. You should put that needle drop idiot out of his... Oh, really? I mean, I don't really watch the needle drop, but he tends to be a little too intellectual with his reviews, but that's just music reviews in general. That's not a knock against him. But I'm curious to know why some of you guys don't like Needle Drop. Let me know. Are you gonna get the new My Bloody Valentine repress? Or represses? Oh, I didn't know. I should definitely do that. Do I like mod culture? I am still learning about mod culture, but I enjoy the aesthetic of it. I really enjoyed seeing some of it being recreated in the movie Tommy. I don't know if you guys seen that, but that was really cool, especially to see the mods versus the Teddy Boys. That was such a trip. I am getting the Weird Al Squeeze box. I pre-ordered the basic vinyl edition, so that should be coming out next month, and I will definitely be doing an unboxing, maybe a live unboxing, we'll see. I love ELO. What do you think of Daft Punk? They're great. They're great. I was stupid enough and never bought their albums until recently, but man, they are fantastic. Thanks for quality. Oh, you're welcome. Mattpedia, you're welcome. Pink Floyd's Pipers at the Gates of Dawn is a great album. Have you ever listened to... Yeah, I definitely will listen to it and do a review. Yes, I want to do Meet the Beatles versus With the Beatles. I think I'm focusing on the Rolling Stones right now, and then I have a couple of addendums I want to do. Like I want to do a video on my version of a single record White Album, and then I need to talk about, I want to do a focused video on a couple other things that I've forgotten, and I'm losing my mind right now. What's my favorite underrated psychedelic band from the 60s and 70s? Oh, man. I sadly don't know enough about that. I really don't, to give you a good answer. Most of my friends don't own... Most of my friends... Okay, so Rob the Champion asks... He's a teenager and he enjoys discovering new music. Most of my friends don't own vinyl and laugh at you for your favorite band being the Beatles. You know what? I don't want to say get new friends, but I was lucky because like one of my good friends in high school, he loved classic rock and he made it cool, and he'd almost made it cooler than new music. But I would say, reach out to your friends, see what kind of music they're into, and certain bands, they're heavily influenced by the Beatles, and maybe if they like make fun of you about that, that's kind of lame. I don't know what to say. I mean, that's such a hard time and age. I would stick with it, man. Again, look at what they're into, maybe get into what they're listening to, and be like, and I would just drop some knowledge. I'm like, well, that song's great, but they're totally ripping off Eleanor Rigby or whatever. Just sort of, I would do it that way. Hello, Texas. Thoughts on The Residents? I only own one album of theirs, and I need to listen to it a couple more times, but I really like their stuff. How about Tame Impala? I am actually working on a review for Currents, which is a great album. Yes, I am reading from chat. That's what I'm doing. And I'm a little behind because there's a lot of people. Yes, I'm going to review George Harrison. Have you seen the new Blade Runner? No. I love shoegaze, man. That's like one of my jams. Depeche Mode. Any thoughts? It's funny. Depeche Mode is a band that my brother kind of turned me off from listening to them. I looked up to my older brother, and he was heavy into I shouldn't say electronica, but he was into the rave scene, and he was a DJ, and he spun, and he just kind of had like a poo-poo attitude when it came to Depeche Mode, saying, oh, they're just derivative and they just ripped people off. I don't like them. So I was like, all right, well, I don't like them either. So I kind of stayed away from them for too long, and now I'm just getting back into them. Yeah, I know, I'm behind on the chat. New copy. Let's see. Oh, crap. Someone's spamming with the N-word. Oh dear. As an actor, have I done anything lately, or have anything in the works right now? You know, it's a tough town. It is, you know, most actors are out of work 95% of the time, and you're always going out for stuff, but the audition thing is like, you just never know. You do your best, you put it out there, and then you walk away, and unless they hire you, you never know. So you have to just, if you don't hear anything, you have to accept that, you know, it didn't happen. I had a couple of good auditions, some promises were made, but I haven't, you know, nothing's come about as of yet. So, you know, I'm just sticking with the show. This is what I do. I have not seen Baby Driver. Favorite King Gizzard album, Nonagon Infinity. So, let's see. Thoughts on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame not having a lot of famous British acts or famous women in rock. I did not know that. I actually went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the 90s, kind of right when it opened, and it was cool, but I wasn't that impressed. And I always take this kind of stuff with a grain of salt. Like, it's, you know, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a popularity contest. It's like the Academy Awards, you know. One of my favorite films, Singing in the Rain, wasn't even nominated. So it's like, it's how much, you know, how much credit do you give this entity to represent them? I mean, you know in your heart that those are awesome artists. They don't get recognized. Oh, well. But, I mean, how much does this thing matter? I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock in the Grammys or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think as an exhibit, a museum, it's a cool place to go. But yeah, I think it's, again, I don't know enough about, you know, what their criteria is in terms of voting in. But yeah, I think it's kind of lame that they don't have famous UK bands or women. That's kind of lame. Can you top 5? So can I name the top 5 favorite bands from today? Top 5 favorite bands from right now. You know, I just heard the new LCD sound system. I love that, but you know, they kind of came out 20 years ago, so I don't know if they're like a new band. But yeah, in terms of new bands, I would say King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard is great. Who else is there? I'm blanking on this stuff. I don't have my notes in front of me. Who else do I really like? If I had more time, I would definitely prepare. Well, I like Mac DeMarco. I'm just looking at the records I have down here. I think he's great. I don't know if Bon Iver is like a new artist, but I definitely like him a lot. Yeah. Crap, this chat is not it's kind of weird. I don't know Kate Bush. I don't think. Yeah, I'm getting her confused. I love Queen. Joanna Newsom's great. Van Dyke Parks. I know the name. I can't think of the music right now. Have I ever listened to the band Everything? No. Thoughts on A Clockwork Orange? Wow, I first saw that film. We're talking about the movie, right? I first saw that film in high school, and it was shocking. I didn't really know what to think of it. I watched it recently. I rewatched it, and I thought it was fantastic. It's super well done, and just oh man, it's just it's creepy. You know what I mean? It's creepy because of, you know, how not far away we are from that. The one thing I did like though is the turntable in that is amazing. I think it's a very, you can get them, but they're really expensive. And then I love the fact that there's a soundtrack. When he goes to the record store, there's a soundtrack or a copy of 2001, I believe, which I thought was pretty cool. I think I'm getting that right. I don't know, I could be wrong. It's kind of an Easter egg. Let's see, where am I here? Whoa. Thoughts on Danzig? I like him, but again, I don't have an album of his. What's the Story, Morning Glory? That was a that is an album that definitely marks a point in my life. I was actually in Europe when that album hit, and I just soaked it up everywhere. It was amazing. Am I a Fleetwood Mac fan? I don't know. Yes and no. It depends. Are we talking about? I'm sure you're talking about the later incarnation, not the Peter Green version of Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of, I like it, but I don't necessarily love it. Kendrick Lamar, great. I need to definitely go back and listen to more of his albums. Favorite David Lynch film? Mulholland Drive? No, Blue Velvet. Blue Velvet, amazing. Clipping. Have I listened to Clipping? I have some of their songs, but I don't have enough to really form an opinion. But yes, I have listened to Clipping. I did watch Twin Peaks: The Return, and I was so let down. It was like, it was not. It was a chore to get through. I enjoyed the music, but ultimately I didn't see how these concert pieces really related to the story. I didn't think the storytelling was as good as the original series. I haven't heard the new King Cruel yet. Yes, I own the soundtrack to Clockwork Amazing. It is, or sorry, I do own the soundtrack to Clockwork Orange. It is great. I don't know Calypso Valos. I haven't heard that yet. You know, since I've been doing this show, I put less and less faith into Rolling Stone magazine. I feel more so than ever they're kind of out of touch, and even like their 500 greatest albums list, I always take that with a grain of salt now, and I tend not to even quote them. NME's picks. I don't actually look at theirs. I should, but I tend to look at Metacritic and Pitchfork. I used to look at Stereo Gum, but I don't know if I would do that this year. Whoa. Wow. Yeah, hey, hello, Russia. Brian Ferry. Brian Ferry's great. Roxy Music is awesome. Brian Ferry, I always lump him in with the movie Legend. He did a song for the soundtrack for that, and they will always forever be linked together. I haven't listened to any of the solo work by Syd Barrett. Do you have any suggestions? Have I listened to Death from Above's new album? I have not, but I always enjoy their stuff. Man, every time I scroll, this thing jumps around. What are my thoughts on two-piece bass and drum bands, such as Royal Blood, Death from Above, and Lightning Bolt? I know Royal Blood by name. I don't have enough input on that. I mean, I don't know enough about them to give an opinion, and I don't really know Lightning Bolt. Death from Above, I think it's great. I think it's great. I like it when you kind of self-impose limitations, because that's where real creativity comes from, in my opinion. If you're given all the instruments and everything, all the money in the world, what are you really going to create? But if you really zero in and in that limitation, I feel like you find the most freedom. So I don't know. I dig it. I like that stuff. Do I use Spotify? I do. I didn't buy a subscription to it, but if I'm checking out new music that's I can't stream on Amazon, I will definitely go over to Spotify, especially when I'm choosing the pick of the week albums. Do I ever listen to Grant Lee Buffalo? I have not. Whoa, just jumped again on me. I'm trying to get caught up here, guys. Where did it go? What about The Doors in a review soon? Yeah, the Doors will probably happen next year sometime. I don't see them happening a review of theirs coming up this soon, but I think LA Woman is going to be the first one I tackle. So JCap says he agrees with me on the opinions of Twin Peaks. The new season is very hard to follow, extremely different from the original series. You know what killed me is the fact that Cooper was like absent forever, and it was so frustrating because that was one of my favorite characters. He was sort of like the grounding, the foundation for that show. Like he was like the person you most related to as a viewer because all this craziness was happening, but he was sort of like, we'll get through this. And then he was just absent. So really, I just tell people watch the first episode and then the last 3, and then you can skip the rest. Favorite Bowie album? Oh, that's too hard. That's too hard. Ooh, it's too hard. Heroes is great. Ziggy is great. I don't know enough of his album catalog to really give you an honest answer about that, a justified answer. What you like about the new Weezer songs? The new Weezer album. I haven't heard it yet. Yes, Nick Drake would be awesome to check out. What is the rarest album you own? Hang on a second. You know what? I am going to hop over to Discogs because that will be easier for me. Do you guys use Discogs? I like using it because it kind of shows you. I put a lot of my collection up there, and it's been fun to see sort of, how much things are worth. Not that I, think I'm going to get that much money for it if I ever sell it all, but it's just kind of curious to see. And that's been surprising because I've seen some stuff, like I didn't know certain records I had were as valuable. Oh, so the most rarest record, I guess, would be, I have a copy of Yesterday and Today with, it has the Butcher cover underneath. I don't know if you guys know this one. It's a paste over, so it's not a first state, it's a second state, I think is what they call it. So that's probably my most rare album. And then, yeah, so I have the C, let me make sure this is showing up for you guys. Probably not. But yeah, I have the Seeds debut, REM's Automatic for the People, A Real Hero by College, which was part of Drive. And then, yeah, but sometimes rarity and value and how much a record is worth don't really correlate. Because I probably have some really rare 78s that are worth nothing. You know what I mean? So I don't have a great answer for that. Have you ever listened to Ringo Starr's new solo? No, I haven't. Will you ever review? Yes, I plan on doing Velvet Underground's debut album. That is high on my list. Pet Sounds or Sgt. Pepper's? Oh, why do you got to do this to me? I can't. No, I don't want to choose. This is Sophie's choice. Pet Sounds or Sgt. Pepper's? No, that's not fair. That is not fair. I'd have to go with Sgt. Pepper's. Have I ever heard the band St. Paul and the Broken Bones? No, I haven't. Do I listen to Blur? No, I don't. I should, though. Thoughts on awesome mixtapes from Guardians of the Galaxy? So I saw Guardians of the Galaxy. My friend of the show, Josh, who works on the show, he actually worked on Guardians 2. And I was eager to see the film. And I was kind of surprised the music that is in that film. And it totally makes sense within the context of the film. Like, I get it. Like, a mom from the 70s, this is the music she would be into. That being said, a lot of it's really cheesy stuff that I'm not that into. It's the stuff that I grew up seeing those ads, like 50 hits from the 70s, soft rock hits from the 70s. Ads where you'd buy a 2 CD set for 2 payments of $19.95 plus shipping and handling, no CODs. And I don't know, I didn't get why it was so popular. I just didn't get it. Like it didn't seem like this was amazing music. So I don't know. But traditionally though, soundtracks are great. Tend to be great compilations. And in its defense, Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, is a great compilation if you want to get into that music, just like Saturday Night Fever is an amazing disco compilation. Let's see, what else we got here? Do I listen to some Brazilian music? Is Os Mutantes, are they Brazilian? I can't remember, but Brazilian music, I don't listen to new Brazilian music. If anything, it's just like Jobim. Okay, so Syd Barrett did 2 albums. Okay, The Madcap Laughs. I will check it out. Where are we here? This thing keeps moving on me. Sorry, guys. Oh, can I share the Discogs link? Yeah, let me pull that up there. If you search for me, I'm under the Vinyl Geek, so that shouldn't be. Gosh, I don't even know how to do that. I'm so inept. 1 second, guys. Let me go there real quick. Bear with me while I type, which I know is so exciting to watch, I'm sure. Let's see. No, that's not going to help. Community? Oh, geez. Why am I so... I will get on that. Yeah, packaging, yeah, the shipping costs can be a lot on Discogs, depending on where you live. Yes, I would love to get into Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield. Are you into Twin Peaks? Yes, the original, and I love the soundtrack of the original. The soundtrack to the new series is, well, the compilation album is really great. I love all the music that David Lynch put together, but I just don't think the actual show is that great. Second favorite Weezer album, Pinkerton, Jane Doe by Converge. No, I haven't listened to that. Hello, Brazil. Yeah. Again, I haven't listened to that much Brazilian music. Styx has a new album yet? No, I haven't heard that. Yes, I do enjoy Captain Beefheart. Favorite acting performance of all time? Howdy. Oh, do I have a favorite? Oh gosh, that is a good question. I would say Robert De Niro in Raging Bull. That is just mesmerizing to me. And then Al Pacino in Godfather Part 2. It's amazing. Hello, UK. Do you correct people when they call records vinyls? It depends, because what I realized is, you know, in English, the plural of vinyl is vinyl. It's not vinyls. But in other languages, it is vinyls. So I kind of stopped. Well, not that I was really that into correcting people, but I kind of gave up correcting people. Or I give people the benefit of the doubt, especially since a lot of people who message me are from other countries or English isn't their first language. I let it go. But if it's, you know, someone here, born here, that I'm talking to, I try to do my best, but it's so hard because you just come off sounding like a hipster douche. I'll check out Transplants. I don't know them. What's your favorite album with Kiss? Hello, Sweden. That's a good question. I don't know if I have a favorite of theirs. Their debut is great. I think it's Destroyer. I think is probably my favorite. If I could have an album of lost John Lennon songs or an album of lost George Harrison songs, which would I choose? Noah, I think I'll agree with you. I think it would be George, as much as I love John. Okay, so Sam says I should check out Jackson and Jones and Off the Wall, Thriller and Oh, yes, yes. You mean yes. Of course, that the trio, the great Michael Jackson trio. Absolutely, I love all three of those albums. I will definitely check those out. I love the Smiths. Morrissey is an enigma wrapped in a confusion ball. I don't really know what to think of Morrissey. I'll put it this way. I tend not to watch a lot of interviews with him because I feel like the more I do, the less I'm gonna want to listen to his music. He's a very interesting dude. He seems like a person I would not want to go camping with. But I love his music, so it's one of those things. Like I'd prefer not to know a lot about him, but I probably will dive into his life a little bit. Have I ever listened to Shoo Shoo's other Shoo Shoo records? I love Shoo Shoo, and sadly I'm not that familiar with the album output, but I really actually want to listen to their version of Twin Peaks. I hear it's great. If you want to get into Blur, listen to these three albums of theirs: Modern Life is Rubbish, Park Life, and they're self-titled. Great, thank you. That was, who said that? It keeps jumping on me. Tuxedo Gremlin, thank you. What hair products do I use? I use American Crew. I use Fiber and Pomade and grooming cream, I think. Have you ever listened to Liam Gallagher's new record? No, I haven't yet. I should though. Do I like St. Vincent? Yes and no. Her new album, I am very intrigued by. So I definitely want to check it out. Are you excited for the new car seat headrest? I didn't know there was a new one. I will definitely check it out. Being a fan of David Lynch, what do you think of his album Crazy Clown Time? I haven't heard it. I should check it out. Yes, I like shoegaze. Have I heard Haramu? Wait, I'm saying that wrong. I can't say that. I don't know. Hey, thank you, Spin Me Round Store. That helps a lot. Thanks for posting my thing. I actually have a few records for sale up there. Do you regularly splurge out for Mobile Fidelity releases, or are the jumps in price too drastic? Great question. I think Mobile Fidelity is totally worth the investment, but it has to be records that you love. I wouldn't just like get it because you want to check out a record. Like, they have to be records you love. They're an investment. But for the most part, I think they're totally worth it. But I don't frequently splurge for them. I'm debating on getting Bitches Brew on Mobile Fidelity, but it's like $56, and that seems like a lot of money. A lot of money. So I don't know. I'm going to see what other people think. I tend to look at the reviews on Discogs and the Steve Hoffman forums before I buy to see what kind of pressing I should get. Do I like Sergio Ross? I hope I said that right. Yes, I do. Yes. Do I like Genesis? Of course I love Genesis. My favorite album? I loved Invisible Touch growing up. That may be blasphemous to say, but I love that album. 5 favorite genres. Oh gosh. I love Exotica. I love like rockabilly. I like indie rock, indie stuff. I love kind of electronic, ambient kind of stuff, and classic rock. I don't know. Is that a genre? What is the most overrated band or artist? Gosh. Overrated. I feel like Michael Bublé is overrated. I don't know. I don't get the appeal there. I mean, he's very charismatic, but I don't know. Gosh, I am behind here. Ever considered Lark's Tongue, Starless, and Bible Black, Red from King Crimson? Definitely Red from King Crimson, but the other ones I don't know. Do I have any musical soundtracks? I got rid of most of my original cast recordings. The only real musical scores I have are from like movies, like My Fair Lady. I love that one. Favorite Prince album? Well, Sign of the Times, but I also really like Planet Earth. That's a great album too. At what age did you really start gaining an interest in music? I would say probably I loved music real early on, probably 7 or 8, but actually collecting music besides Weird Al, that would be in junior high when I started getting into classic rock. So that was 11, 12. Horror movie. What is my favorite horror movie and horror movie soundtrack? Favorite horror movie. I am really, there are so many good ones. I'm sure if you name them, I would say, yes, I love that. But I'll just go with Halloween. I love that film and the soundtrack too. I really like John Carpenter, so there. Have I ever seen This Is England? I don't think so. I will check it out. Best Disney soundtrack you would want on vinyl? Oh gosh. I don't know. I have an affinity for Beauty and the Beast, the animated one. But Sam has a side note here. The late 50s, early 60s re-release of Fantasia recording is amazing. You know, I actually have I have that Fantasia edition, and it is really good. I guess I really like the Jungle Book, but I own that already as a soundtrack. So maybe of newer stuff, maybe The Lion King. That's a pretty good one, right? I know I'm forgetting one, and I'm gonna kick myself for doing that. But do I like Morrissey's brand new single "Spent the Day in Bed"? I haven't heard it yet. Transplants is a rap punk band consisting of Tim Armstrong, Travis Barker, and Tim's. Oh, really? Okay, nice. I like Tim Armstrong. I'll check it out. Are you one of the chosen few who owns a copy of Wildflowers? No, I don't own Wildflowers by Tom Petty on vinyl. Favorite Van Morrison album? I'm blanking on it. It's not Moonshadow. Shit, I can't remember. Oh, I just swore. Sorry, kids out there. Van Morrison. I really can't remember. I'll get back to you on that one. Oh, do you know the mod culture helped inspire some aspects of the original skinhead culture? No, I was not aware of that. Mod culture is very different. I think it got distilled here in the US. It's not the same as if I were to have grown up in the UK. What is your favorite Beatles album when you got into them? The White Album. That's the one that got me started. Have you ever listened to, yes, I like Neutral Milk Hotel. Thoughts on, I'm going to say his name wrong, Sufjan Stevens. I like him, I just don't know if I love him. Ariel Pink's music, I really like Ariel Pink's music. Any thought, do I know anything about math rock? I know the idea of it, but not really. Any thoughts on Minutemen? Not really. Yes, I know the Honey Drippers. They are cool. The new Always album is great. Awesome. How do I use Rate? No, I don't use Rate Your Music. What are some albums that you love that not a lot of people know of? I would say a lot of the Exotica stuff I'm into. Arthur Lyman, Martin Denny. I mean, a lot of people know, I'm blanking on his name now. But yeah, I would say that genre a lot of people don't know of, because it, you know what I mean, a lot of people who listened to that when it was new are dead now. Weezer's Blue album or Pinkerton. Ugh, Blue album. Have I listened? No, I need to check out Flower Boy. I do. Mobile Fidelity records are great. Yeah. Yeah, Ghost. I've been recommending that a lot. I need to check them out. Do I like any bands that come from Sweden? I am really bad at knowing that. I'm sure I do. I just can't think at the top of my head. The gold disc behind me is basically a record I bought off of eBay. It's I don't even know what's on it. Someone just sold vacuum, where they do the vacuum metallized records, and that's what that is. What is my go-to cocktail? Lately, it's been a Trader Vic's Mai Tai. But most bars don't do that, so I tend to go with like a mule or a dark and stormy. If you could go back in time to see a band or artist in their prime, or when they were still around, oh gosh, who would it be? Who would it be? Man, there's so many. I mean, I would love to, you know, honestly, I would love to have seen the Beatles live. I mean, even though when the live music they were doing isn't my favorite, I would love to have seen them live. Jimi Hendrix, I would love to have seen Love. That would have been amazing. The Doors. You know, I would love to have gone to like seen the scene, not just seen them live, but like I would love to go to the Sunset Strip in the 80s and seen all the like the hair metal bands and all the fans and all the spandex. Like I would love to have seen that, and then gone back in the 60s. I'd love to go to New York and like the birth of the punk movement and go to the UK. That would have been amazing. Favorite jazz LPs? Oh, I'm bad on that one. Yes, the bar at the top of Mobile Fidelity bugs me too. I don't listen to Sad Girl. I don't know them. Do I like Frank Zappa? Again, I touched that on earlier. I don't really know if I do yet. I'm still on the fence about Frank Zappa. Rocky Horror Picture Show is great. I own the soundtrack. It's fantastic. Mod Culture helped inspire. Okay. Favorite Michael Jackson album? Probably Off the Wall. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Thriller's really good too. All right, I'm getting really messed up here. I don't know where. Let's see. Are there any critically acclaimed albums that I just don't like? Yeah, I just can't think of them right now. Have I ever listened to the band Slint? Yes. Favorite Miles Davis album? Kind of Blue, I guess. That's kind of a go-to. That's lame. What do you think of Bob Dylan's last 3 albums of jazz standards? I've heard about them. I haven't heard them yet. Being a fan of Exotica. Oh, awesome, Jay. Do you collect any tiki carvings, art, or mugs? Yes, I actually have a 4-foot tiki carving log in the pad right now, and I have an extensive collection of mugs. I don't really collect much art other than like velvet paintings and masks. Oh, that's awesome. Your house is decked out in mid-century modern tiki. That's so cool. Favorite Dead Kennedys album? Oh, I'm really bad at that. Oh, American football is considered math rock? See, I'm not familiar with that genre. But I like those bands. I'll have to do more research into that. Do you recommend any Italian music? Gosh, Sergio Leone? Do you like Spiderbait? I know the name. I can't tell if I like it or not at this point. On the Help and Love album. Any thoughts on the Love and Help? I'm not sure what that is. Do you like cassettes? I grew up with cassettes. I do like them. I don't collect them right now. Yes, I love Tom Petty. Favorite Hendrix record? This thing keeps jumping on me. I don't know. Are you experienced? Yeah. Favorite guitar solo, Freebird. Acting career, it is what it is right now. Melanie Basio, No Deal or Lilies. I don't know that. Have you ever listened to Gang of Four? Yes. Fine Young Cannibals. Love Fine Young Cannibals. I also do, I've said this before. Oh, thank you, Steak Man. Gotta say, love your channel. Appreciate. Oh, thank you. Star Wars or Star Trek? You know, as of late, I've been getting more into Star Trek. I grew up loving Star Wars, but I don't know, man. After the prequels, like, don't get me wrong, Episode 7 was good, but it was like, I don't know. It was a remake. I'm actually watching Voyager for the first time. I'm getting into that show. I never watched it before, but I love The Next Generation. Again, Star Wars or Star Trek, it depends what mood I'm in. Settings, I'm going to put on a new record. Give me a second. Let's see here. I'll put on some Tom Petty for y'all. Maybe you'll be able to hear it a little bit. Here we go. Do I think Rick Deckard in Blade Runner is a replicant? Yeah. Do I like the Kinks at all? I like the early Kinks. I don't know if I like the new stuff. Ever consider getting some 8-tracks for that groovy pad? I used to have some. I don't know where they went. I think I got rid of them, but yeah. I'd love to get one of those little round players. Those things are cool with the radio and stuff. Crat rock albums. I don't know. I like to tell people Star Wars by birth, Star Trek by yeah, that's very good. 7 of 9. Yeah, she hasn't come in yet. I just started that. Put some Beatles on. Okay, sure. After the Tom Petty here. Let me just put up the record so you guys can see. There we go. Have I ever listened to Pixies Doolittle? I don't think I have. Sgt. Pepper or Revolver? I'll go with Revolver. Favorite Neil Young album? I don't know if I have one. I like Harvest a lot. Favorite fall craft beer? I'm not a beer guy. I don't know. But you like Southern Tier Pumpkining. Okay, I'll check it out. Do I like any trash metal? I should get into that. I don't know. Favorite Can album? What are your thoughts on Frank Ocean? I really like Frank Ocean. I wish he put out his latest album on vinyl that you could actually buy. What would you consider covering some indie rock classics like Loveless? Yes. Splinter. Yes, I actually have Slint right across from here. I've been listening to it. I don't have an opinion quite yet. Doolittle by the Pixies. I will check it out. Do I have a favorite indie rock band? I don't know, man. What's considered indie rock now? I don't know. Have you ever heard Lord's Melodrama? Yeah, I just listened to that. It was kind of hit or miss with me. I haven't listened to Rainbow by Kesha. When am I going to review Oasis? Probably next year. If I could be any Beatle, I'd be Ringo. Favorite Smiths album and song? Oh gosh. All I can think of right now is How Soon Is Now, and then The Queen Is Dead. Yes, I've listened to the OCs. I want to pick up a copy of Orc, but it's been on back order right now. Who is your favorite of the grunge's big four? Are you talking about like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and stuff? Yes, I do like Cream, and I do like Dis Israel Gears. I always say that wrong. Group Love. Oh, Group Love. Yes, Group Love is a local band. Actually, I think they're live in my neighborhood. Favorite Cream album? That I don't know. If NSYNC or Backstreet Boys albums came out on vinyl, would you buy? I wouldn't. No, I don't think I would buy them. Well, maybe I would. I don't know. Depends what album it is. Duran Duran or Japan? I love Duran Duran. Scottish folk legend, Harmish. Oh, I don't. Okay. Have you ever listened to the Happy Mondays or Stone Roses? I have not, and I plan on listening to the Stone Roses, but I haven't. Favorite female singers, top of the list would be Julie London. What Oasis albums will you review? Definitely What's the Story, Morning Glory. Yes, I would love recommendations. What I consider doing reviewing British cult classics like Arctic Monkeys, The Smiths, or Stone Roses. Arctic Monkeys, I mean, definitely The Smiths and Stone Roses are high on my list. Arctic Monkeys, I don't know when I'll get to them, but yes. By the Big Four, meant Nirvana, Alice in Chains. Oh, yeah, the Big Four in terms of grunge would be Nirvana for me. So it'd be Nirvana, and then Soundgarden, and then Pearl Jam, and then Alice in Chains. Nevermind or In Utero. You know what? You're gonna hate me, but I actually have never listened to In Utero in its entirety, so I can't make that call yet. But I mean, I love Nevermind. Lemon Twigs. I need to reevaluate them. I kind of wrote them off initially. Joy Division versus New Order. Joy Division. Beatles versus the Beach Boys. The Beatles. The Ramones versus the Clash. I'm gonna go with the Clash. And the Smiths versus the Cure. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, I'd go with the Cure. Most beautiful song you've ever heard. I like Clair de Lune by Debussy. What's your favorite Chelsea Wolfe album? I don't have one. I need to dive into her more. That sounded bad. That's not what I meant. I need to check out more of her work. Well, thank you, Bradford. Have you? Could you ever review Time by EL? You know, I sort of reviewed Time. I had Baron von Luxury come on. If you look for that on the channel, you can kind of see us talk about that, but it's not really a review, I know, but we talk about it. Do you have an album that when you first listened to you hated, but now you find it yourself enjoying? You know, that happens a lot. Death Grips is a big example of that, where I didn't understand it. That's the first one that comes to mind. Foxygen is another one that I didn't get, but then I really sat down and listened to it. What else? Yes, I will review Smile Sessions. Whoa. Do you know Aphrodite's Child? No. Okay, I'll check out 666. Do you like bubblegum era music? You talking about like 50s pop stuff? I like some of it. Have you ever listened to the New Order's second album, Power, Lies, and Corruption? Yes. Yeah, I mean, I like pretty much anything New Order. Or sorry, yes. I think I own that on vinyl. I can't remember right now. It's in another pile. Yes, I know, Bullseye Crash. I need to listen to that. Thoughts on Swan? I don't have a lot. Favorite album? Blue Album. Joy Division's Closer. I don't own it. I know I've heard it. Have you ever? Do I follow anyone on the vinyl community? I follow a couple different people: Barack P. Dub and Dixieland Music, and Colin Medicine Horse, I think. But I don't contribute a lot to that. Sabbath or Zeppelin? Ooh, I'm gonna go with Sabbath. Cream versus, Jimi Hendrix. Come on, no. Best post-punk album. Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. What's your favorite, Andrew? How do you feel about the band The Eels? I don't have a strong opinion on them. I remember when they came out, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. I have not listened to the White Stripes on vinyl. I need to do that. Oh, that's awesome. I don't know how to say your username, but that's great that you're learning to play it on piano. Favorite Pet Sounds song? Mine is I know there is an answer. Ooh, that is a good question. There's a lot of good songs on there. I'll get to that in a second. You should look at Definitely Maybe. What's the Story, Morning Glory, and Don't Believe the Truth. Okay. Whoa. I hate this. I'm sorry, guys. This chat is really kind of funky. Queens of the Stone Age. I actually have something coming up for Queens of the Stone Age, so hold tight on that. I think God Only Knows might be my favorite song off of Pet Sounds. What's my favorite one-hit wonder from any era? The Von Blondies? What was that song that they did? I love that song. Came out in like the mid-2000s. Okay, London Calling or the... Oh, wow. You know, Bauhaus is another band I really have missed, and I need to see them, or I need to listen to them more. Have I listened to the Finnish band Him? Yes! Him was heavily featured in Bam Margenta's movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. And that's when I first learned about him. He like has a love affair with that band. Eno or Aphex Twin? I would go with Eno. If I were to assemble a super group, who would sing, who would play guitar, who would play bass? Well, Prince would have to play guitar. Flea would have to play bass. Drums. Ooh, I'm really bad with drummers. I'm not... who's a great drummer? Oh, you know what'd be fun is just to have, what's his name? Dave Grohl. But who would sing? Freddie Mercury. That would be a weird band. Favorite Beatle. George Harrison. Have you heard the new national album? I have not. Okay. What's your favorite gothic rock album? I don't know. What's considered gothic rock? Are there any albums you say you like because you're afraid of being judged for not? Mine is probably Siamese Dream. Oh, you don't like Siamese Dream. Any albums? Gosh, that's a good question. I don't know. I really... I don't know. I can't think of that right now. I know it's really okay. The only King Gizzard album I've listened to that came out this year is the Flying Microtonal Banana. Favorite Genesis touch, or sorry, favorite Genesis song, Invisible Touch. Is that a Genesis song? I think it is. Or no, what's that one? What's that stupid one? The Walk Like Me song. I can't remember. That music video is ridiculous. What do I think about The Who? The Who is a hit or miss band for me. I like some of their early stuff. Then they kind of lose me with some stuff. Like I don't know how much I really enjoy Tommy. That might be a good answer for Adrian's question. Tommy, I don't know, man. Where am I? This thing jumps around on me. I haven't listened to David Bowie's Low yet. I need to pick up a copy. Okay, so Annie Mae Boy suggests checking out the Eels Electroshock Blues. Cool. All right. Favorite Rancid album? Is it Outcome the Wolves? Is that? Am I remembering that right? I might be thinking of Op Ivy. I get them confused, which is terrible. Led Zeppelin or the Beatles? The Beatles. Have you ever listened to Missions from Burma? Yes, but I can't say enough about... I don't know enough about them to really have an opinion. Lou Reed or Iggy Pop? Ooh, I go with Lou Reed. Ooh, oh, I like this. Sing with Freddie Mercury, singer, or help with David Bowie. Yeah, that would be awesome. I like that. Trash a Hotel with Keith Moon. Oh, wait. I see what you're saying. Sorry. Okay, so you're saying either sing with Freddie Mercury or help David Bowie put on his Ziggy makeup. I would love to sing with Freddie. That would be awesome. Trash a Hotel with Keith Moon or almost get arrested. Oh, I would love to get arrested with Keith Richards. David Gilmour or Syd Barrett? Syd Barrett. Favorite Brit pop album? I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know what's considered Brit pop. Favorite, what band similar to Foxygen might you recommend to someone looking for a new modern day music? I don't know what else is similar to Foxygen, honestly. Is Fun considered? Is that similar? Fun? I don't know if you know that band. Thoughts on Animal Collective? I do like them. I don't know the solo work yet. Oh, cool. Okay, so make a video of my favorite albums of all time. Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be a long time in the making, man. That'd be fun though. Do I listen to Body? I haven't listened to Body Camp's last album. Park Life has to be the best. Okay, cool. What rare album would you buy in an instant? Johnny Burnett Trio's album. I don't use hair gel. I use fiber and like a pomade. Are you going to review Airplane All Over the Sea? Yes. Have you ever heard of or like Eno's first solo effort, Here Come the Warm Jets? I haven't heard that. No, I should check it out. Do you like Def Leppard? Yes. Do I like Stevie Ray Vaughan? Yes. Yes. Do I like any Rush albums? Is it 2112? Or Moving Pictures? Yes. I haven't listened to Gish by Smashing Pumpkins. That's weird, right? Somehow I missed it. Hello, Poland. Thoughts on Ornette Coleman? I don't know. I should check that out. Favorite Led Zeppelin album? I like their debut a lot, but it might be 3. 3 might be my favorite. Most underrated Beatles record? Is there one? Maybe Magical Mystery Tour? Do I listen to Nine Inch Nails, I think is what you're saying? I don't actively listen to them, no. Thoughts on Vampire Weekend? I like them. They're all right. Yeah, they're not, I don't know. They're not like my favorite band ever. Do you like Judas Priest? I'm slowly getting into them, but I like what I've heard so far. Okay, so Anime Boy asks, do I have any artists or a band that you love their music but dislike their personalities? Yeah, I mean, I think Morrissey might be up there. There's other ones I'm blanking on right now. I can't really think. Yeah, I don't know. Give me some suggestions. Interpol or the Strokes? Oh, Interpol. Do I play an instrument? I play guitar, and I used to study trumpet, but don't ask me to play. Most pretentious genre. That's a good question. And oh man, there's some. I don't know. Check out okay, Noah Brown says check out his blog about music on WordPress. Cool. Do I like Suede? I don't know. Do I have a favorite hip hop album? The Run DMC album. It's got a pink and green cover on it. I forget the name of it right now. Elton John or John Lennon? Whoa, what just happened? As a solo singer, I would go with Elton John. Do you like any Dire Straits? Yes. Why did I decide to start a YouTube channel? The short answer is I was not getting a lot of work as an actor, and I was growing frustrated, and I was seeing guys like Nostalgia Critic and Angry Video Game Nerd having fun with a caricature, and I thought, I want to do that too, but I really love music, so that's kind of why, because I just wanted to create stuff. Yes, I will consider doing a Tom Petty review. Will I be reviewing any Def Leppard? If I get a lot of response, like a lot of requests for it, definitely. I think Radiohead's OK Computer was definitely ahead of his time. Are there any albums that used to be extremely lauded over but haven't aged well? Yes, I know there are some. I can't think of it right now. What they might be. I mean, there's a ton of like really bad pop music that sold really well. I just don't pay attention to that. Hey Cal, you've been a fan for a few years. Yes, I have heard of the Lemon Twigs, and I intend to kind of dive into their album, their debut album. Oldest album I've listened to. That's a tough question because albums really weren't, they didn't really become a thing until like the 50s, 60s. But I have some albums like in 78 form that I have. There's a Bing Crosby one that I have. But that's probably from the 30s, so it's not, I don't know, it's not that old. I do know the band, yes. Have you ever heard anything from the Bleachers? No. Oh, okay, cool, I'll check that out. Do I own any Johnny Cash LPs? Yes, I do. I own probably a half a dozen. But I don't own any of, like there's a couple on the Sun records that I would love to own, like Black and Blue, and the other one. Like those would be awesome, but I don't have those. Pink Floyd or the Beatles? Oh, that's hard. I think for like how I like to listen to music now, it would be Pink Floyd. Axl Rose or Ginger Baker? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what. Oh, that's someone else replying. Would you play something? Yeah, is it not coming through? I have Tom Petty right now. Maybe it's not coming in. I'm trying not to have it too loud because I don't want to get a copyright thing going. What do I think about Iggy Pop, the Idiot? I own it. I haven't listened to it enough to give you an opinion. MF Doom, I like De La Soul. Suede the band. I don't know them. Wu-Tang or Tribe Called. I like Tribe Called Quest. Could you sing any Beatles song right now? My guitar is not right now. I have a Nintendo Wii U, and I really like Nintendo. Real Love or Free as a Bird? Oh, excuse me, I just burped. That was disgusting. I like Real Love. Thank you, Steak Man. The one album I would take to Desert Island, if I could only choose one, would be the Blue Album. I love Leonard Cohen, yes. What Songs By, I think is probably my favorite by him. What about Haim? I like Haim. Their new album's pretty good. What's your most prized record in my collection? Probably, I don't know. I have a couple. My autographed copy of Even Worse by Weird Al, Weezer's Blue, Nielsen's The Point, Yesterday and Today, The Beatles. Get a guitar lesson from Clapton or Jimmy Page? Probably Eric Clapton. Go to the 60s or 70s for music scene. I'd probably go to the 60s. Have a pretentious convo with Morrissey or get yelled at by Johnny Rotten? I'd like to sit down with Morrissey more than Johnny Rotten. Most annoying song? Wrecking Ball by, what's her name? Miley Cyrus. I don't know anybody that has a Robert Johnson 78. I do have stuff in the background. I guess you guys can't really hear it, huh? Do I like Ray Cooder's music? I don't know if I do. Yes, Mike, I will eventually review Led Zeppelin's 4. Greatest album is 2017? I don't know yet. Metallica or AC/DC? Metallica. Where do you want to take this channel in the future? I would love to have more of these kind of live events. I'd love to have more actual artists on, and I just want to do it more full-time and have more reviews. Thoughts on grunge in general? Whoa, you know, grunge was all right. The cheesiest band? That's a good question. I don't know. Favorite Christmas record? Charlie Brown Christmas. I don't have a lot of recommendations for Italian music. I'd love to collab with Fantano. Have I seen Master of None? I have not, no. Do I like the Needle Drop? I have nothing against him. I don't actively watch his stuff though. I would love to make a video on vintage hi-fi equipment. I am sorely uneducated though in that. Well, thank you, Hollowed Mirids. Check out The Age of Anxiety by Pix. Okay. Crap. I just lost chat. Hang on a second. What's my favorite movie franchise? I have no idea. Well, thank you, Thunderfield. Since Bloom, I was one of your favorites. What do you think of Weezer's other albums? I mean, other than Pinkerton, Weezer's had a lot of ups and downs. And, you know, they're a good band, and I will always enjoy what they put out, but they'll never be able to top Blue Album or Pinkerton. It's just kind of where they're at, you know? Maladroit, it is. I really like that album too. Yeah, I'll definitely dive more into prog rock. I would love to collaborate with the Needle Drop. Love to have him on here and just pick his brain. Why did you make the Dark Side of the Moon review different? So Josh asked, why is Dark Side of the Moon the way it is? And that's because it was at a time when a lot of people were involved in this show, making this show, and that was more of George Cochran's idea. He had this idea of a more narrative type thing, and I don't think he really likes Dark Side of the Moon. And so I just went with it. I'm like, yeah, that'd be fun. Let's do that. It's like it's going to be a season opener, so I was open to collaborating with people. But again, that was a different time. That was, gosh, that was like 2013. So now I pretty much do the show by myself. I write it, I shoot it, I light it, and all that kind of stuff. So I tend to want to do more substantial stuff and actually give a real review. So the simple answer is because that's where I was at the time. I was collaborating more. We really weren't sure where the channel was going at that time. Whoa, do I play in a band? I used to play in a band called the Keen Cousins. You can actually listen to some music on MySpace if you want to, and that's Keen with a K, or sorry, Keen with a K, Cousins with a K. Favorite Eagles album? I don't really like the Eagles that much. Favorite live act? I don't go to a lot of live shows. Have you ever listened to Mezzanine by Massive Attack? No. Okay, I will check it out. Led Zeppelin or The Who? Led Zeppelin. I think you need to get some business cards and push the channel. You know, I have postcards, but the problem is, like, I spend so much time making it, I don't have a lot of time promoting it. That's my problem, and I'm really bad at social media. What are my thoughts on the original War of the Worlds album? I don't know. Is that the soundtrack? Okay, so why no more Vinyl Me Please reviews? I actually was in a partnership with them, and they were giving me the membership for free. And then that was going good for a while, and then they decided to not be associated with me anymore, but they still sent me the records. And then they just stopped doing that. So I stopped reviewing them because I wasn't gonna start paying for it. It's kind of lame, but nothing really bad happened. I just think they wanted to go in a different direction, and I stopped doing it. Thoughts on Brandon Flowers' solo work? I hear it's great. I haven't listened to it. So I should check out Long Road Out of Eden by the Eagles. Okay, I don't know that album. I'll check it out. Do I know the world famous Pop Droid Pop List? I don't. Am I making any other Beatles videos? I will be, yes. But I don't know what the next one's going to be. I'm going to tackle the Rolling Stones first. I've heard of Streetlight Manifesto, but I don't think I've actually listened to it. Oh, thank you very much, Steak Man. Would you consider doing more of your cocktail tutorials? Yes, yes, I have one coming up. I have a review for Radiohead coming up, and I have a cocktail for that. Andrew Jackson Jihad or Mac DeMarco? I don't know Andrew Jackson Jihad, so I'd go with Mac DeMarco. Smile or Pet Sounds? Pet Sounds. Favorite Beatles album? The White Album. Is Jimi Hendrix still our best alien sighting? I don't know. Favorite song? On the Wall by Pink Floyd. Oh, that's a good one. I have to look at the playlist because I'm not good with song names. What are some of your favorite movie scores, soundtracks I own on vinyl? Why am I drawing a blank on that? I really like Turbo Kid soundtrack. That's great. Stranger Things is pretty good. Older films, I love the soundtrack to Legend and Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner. So Off the Wall, sorry, not the Pink Floyd album, The Wall. My favorite song, gosh, you know, I'm drawing a blank on that. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Favorite video game? Oh man, I really like Mario 64. I like a lot of the Yoshi games, and I love Zelda. Zelda's some of my favorite. That's a weird sound. Yeah, I love Ocarina of Time, but I own, what is it? The Zelda, the cartoony Zelda one that was on GameCube. I own it, I just haven't played it yet. Do I like Mike and the Mechanics? Mr. Mister I do like. What do I think on Exile on Main Street? Fantastic album. Pet Sounds or Surf Up? Definitely Pet Sounds. Black Focus by Yusuf Kamal. Okay, I'll check it out. Most underrated band? Oh, I'm bad with that. Favorite song by the Keen Cousins? That's all right. That's the name of the song. I have to thank you. Whoa, for not only getting me into. Oh, you're welcome, Annie Mae boy. Favorite albums this year you haven't reviewed yet? Oh man, I'm so bad with that. That I haven't reviewed yet. I don't know, man. Best songwriter of all time. Oh, I don't know. I don't know who the best songwriter. Probably Lennon and McCartney. Least favorite song from Dark Side of the Moon, Money. You forgot, what did I forget to mention? Conan the oh yes, of course, Conan the Barbarian. How could I forget? Basil Polidaris, amazing soundtracks. Yes, people talk about my chin a lot. I have never seen Brian Wilson live. Do I like any French albums? Yeah, I just can't think of any off the top of my head. What's my favorite Xmas album? Charlie Brown Christmas. Yeah, like I love a good Trader Vic's Mai Tai as a cocktail. But most tiki cocktails are up my alley. But as a general kind of cocktail, I like a gimlet, a gin gimlet. Do I ever listen to, I don't know how to say that. Similitude of a Dream of the Neil Morse Band? No. Favorite group of the 90s? Probably Weezer. Any prog favorites? I have to get back to you on that one. Thoughts on Spider Hand by Slint. I'm still on the fence on that one. I don't know if I like that one. Yeah, Money, it's not my favorite. Favorite pizza? I like Round Table. I think the band in the 80s, the best band in the 80s is Blueberry Chipmunks? what is that even, what is that? Top favorite metal bands. I'm really bad when it comes to metal. It wasn't a genre I really gravitated to as a kid or a teenager, so I'm just now starting to pick up from that. And I would say what is it? Well, I mean, obviously Metallica tops the list there, but I don't know if they're the best. Do I prefer to collect new vinyl or vintage? I prefer to collect vintage stuff that was pressed before the digital age. Oh wait, of course Money. No, someone asked what. No, someone asked. I know it's not from the Wall. I know Money's not from the Wall. Someone asked what's my least favorite song on Dark Side. Do I have a Patreon? No, I don't have a Patreon. I don't know. I've been hesitant on that. I don't know if that's the route I want to go. I don't know. A lot of people, a lot of YouTubers got a lot of backlash when I first started doing it. I do have Spin Clean as a sponsor, and I do okay with that. But yeah, maybe I'll try it. I don't know. Yeah, someone else linked Discogs. If you go to Discogs, you can find me. My username is the Vinyl Geek. Oh wait, thoughts on Californication? I have to eat my words. That is a really great album. Thoughts on Vince Staples? I don't have a good enough opinion yet. Any early 70s glam rock favorites? Well, I mean, yeah, like Bowie, right? That's kind of a given, though. I don't know. Do you consider the New York Dolls glam? I do. I think they're definitely one of my favorites. Is what's his name? Johnny Winter? Is that considered glam rock? I really like them. Master of the Puppets or Ride the Lightning? I don't really know either of those albums very well. It wouldn't be a fair contest. Okay, so Patreon is getting popular now. Okay, I guess the biggest thing with Patreon is like I want to be able to give people good incentives, and I just don't know what those incentives could be, so I have to keep thinking about that. Favorite 90s rappers? LL Cool J? Is he? No, but he came out in the 80s. I don't know if that counts. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, cool. The Dolls are best Doors album. I don't know. What's the gold record behind you? The gold record behind me is it's a record that someone they sell it off of eBay. I don't even know what it is on there. It's just a prop. Give me 1 second while I change the record. Someone said you guys wanted some Beatles, so I'll see what I have close by. I have to step out for 1 second. All right. We'll do some Revolver here. Whoa, crap! Things just slipped out. Okay. Blueberry Chipmunks were a local band in Texas. Wow. Okay. Mott the Hoople. I should pick up some of their albums. Herbie Hancock, Miles Davis, or John Coltrane? I'm gonna go for John Coltrane. Any UK That's true. UK pressings are what the Beatles intended. That's true. I will say that the Magical Mystery Tour is probably the one exception. Opinions on Black Star. Well, if you watch my review on it, that gives you a good example, but I think it's an exceptional work of art that will get better with time. Yes, I love the Alan Parsons Project. What is your rarest Beatles vinyl? It would be the Yesterday and Today Butcher cover. It's got the paste on it though. I have not got anything from the Paul McCartney Archive collection. The Wall or Dark Side? I would pick Dark Side. Best Grateful Dead album? They have so many, I don't know. Favorite Zeppelin album? I like 3 or their debut. I know I did. I didn't mean to, but it's Carpet. I didn't mean to hurt it. It's just, I got too excited. What brand and model turntable do you have there? This is Yamaha. It's a Yamaha YP211. Rubber Soul or Help? I would go with Rubber Soul. Some incentives could be voting on albums for, okay, entries in the contest. Okay, yeah, that'd be cool. Do I listen to Wolfpack? No. Have I ever listened to any Blood Rock? No. Scary Monster or Hunky Dory? Scary Monster. Favorite movie soundtrack? I guess Conan the Barbarian. Do I like Leonard Skinner and the Allman Brothers? Yes and yes. Ever heard any of the solo albums? I'm not familiar. I get confused what is Alan Parsons and what is the project, I guess, in my head. Combat Rock or Given Enough Rope? I would go with Combat Rock. Thoughts on The Who? Again, I like the early stuff of The Who, and then after that, it's hit and miss. Best live album? Shoot, I'm totally blanking on that right now. What album do you think you put on whenever you want background noise during Hangouts? We're just relaxing. I put on some Tame Impala. What do you think led to this resurgence in the popularity of vinyl in the last 10, 15 years? That's a great question, Brian. Gosh, why do I think, I think, oddly enough, I think streaming led to it because, all record sales have gone down since streaming has become so popular. And there is a group of people who still want to listen to, CDs and stuff. But a lot of people are happy with FLAC. And I think records are, this is a complicated, I gotta turn this down a little bit. I think records are a really good merchandising option for bands. They are expensive to make, but you can easily create scarcity by creating different versions of a record, like colored pressings. So they've become kind of a collectible now, more so than like an actual way to listen to music, unfortunately. So I don't know. I think it's definitely young people have really driven it. People who didn't necessarily grow up with vinyl, I think they've helped to push the new record craze. But I think with the advent of buying a record and getting it into digital download, there's like, why even buy the CD at this point? If you're gonna buy the record, you might as well buy, if you're gonna buy the album, might as well buy the vinyl version of it. Yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe someone's saying that Taxman sounded weird, and it's probably just because of the streaming. I'm streaming over Wi-Fi, so it's probably compressed. What would be your favorite album cover design? That's too hard. Men at Work, Business as Usual, or Cargo? I would go with Business as Usual. Yes, Mr. Bizarro asks if I collect original soundtrack recordings, and yes, I that is one of my favorite things to collect. So I have quite a collection of that. What was my first record? Probably my first vinyl record would be Leonard Skinner's Gold and Platinum. You should hear Scenery by Ryo Funkel. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Josh. What are your thoughts on Days of Future Past by the Moody Blues? Amazing record. Can you explain FLAC? Oh, it is a file format. It's a lossless file format. A lot of audiophiles prefer it. It's FLAC, F-L-A-C. They prefer it over MP3 or AIFF or WAV. It's just a file format, a digital file format. It takes up a lot of space though. Do I like Creedence Clearwater Revival? Yes. Bob Dylan or the Beatles? The Beatles. Favorite track off of Revolver? Oh, that would be Tomorrow Never Knows. The last one. Ever heard of Ambrosia? Yeah, I tend to stay away from it. I think the internet knows it's the Beatles and it's lowering the key. Yeah, I think you might be right, Derek. Do you think vinyl records are going to continue to rise back into popularity? I will say that vinyl records will never be as popular as they were back in the 70s because at that time that was how you listen to music other than radio. So it will never reach the heights that it once were. You'll never. The majority of people stream music now. So I think we'll start to see, it's rising right now, but I think you'll start to see a plateau in terms of sales. I don't know if we've hit that high yet, but yeah. I don't know if, I think it will continue to be right now I think it's a niche. I think it's a niche to be into vinyl, but it is sort of a fad, especially when you consider places like Urban Outfitters. But I think in probably 5 years, you'll start to see that stuff kind of disappear and then it'll go back to traditional record stores. Do I like Simon and Garfunkel? Not really. Best original soundtrack, Conan the Barbarian. Do I play guitar? Yes, I have a Takamine acoustic dreadnought style. I have a Electromatic Gretsch hollow body, and that's about it. Murray's Pomade or Three Flowers? Neither. I use American Crew. You should collab with the Report of the Week. I don't know that. I'll check it out. Well, thank you, Tattles 360s. Favorite Rolling Stones album? I don't have one yet. What's your favorite album by Beck? I don't have one yet. Would you review Sex Pistols? Yes, I will. Favorite song on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band? I don't know. What did I say in my review? I don't remember. Review some Van Halen soon. Okay, what would you like to see? Have you ever heard, do you have any opinion on Dark Side of the Moon? I think Doom Side of the Moon. What is Doom Side of the Moon? I don't know that. Favorite book? I don't know if I have a favorite. I love The Giving Tree, but it's not really like a book. Do I like the Talking Heads? Absolutely. Blonde on Blonde or Exile on Main Street? That's not even a fair fight. I don't know. Blonde on Blonde. Philadu albums? No, I don't know that. Who made your music intro? My buddy Richard Conti. He has a band called The Marches. You should check them out. Favorite REM album? Maybe Automatic for the People. Do I like Oasis? Yes. What's your opinion on posthumous albums? It depends on the context. Like sometimes it's money grabs, and like I've been leery of stuff that's gonna be coming out about Prince, because like some stuff he didn't want to come out or didn't have his hand in it, so I don't know. But I've heard like Michael Jackson's Escape is really well done, so I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted on it. I like Mothers of Invention. I just don't know about Frank Zappa. Favorite hip hop album. I'm drawing a blank on that one too. What a funny vid would be looking at reviews on Beatles albums from the Amazon from people that gave it 1 star. I'll check it out. Pink Floyd or Black Sabbath? Pink Floyd. Do I have a girl? I have a wife. Favorite Frank Sinatra song? Oh. Favorite Frank Sinatra song? Fly Me to the Moon. Yes, Vinyl Variants. Vinyl Variants drive me nuts. Because I feel like it arbitrarily drives up the cost of some pressings, and like they're not always quality pressings. You're actually paying more for something that doesn't sound that great. So it's kind of frustrating. But at the same time, the collector in me wants that special edition. So I'm like, it drives me nuts. You should listen to Dennis Wilson. Oh, Pacific Ocean Blue. I've heard great things. Yes. Thoughts on Vampire Weekend. I like them. You should review the Jam's Setting Suns. Really? Okay, I'll check that out. I don't have a favorite by Oasis because I haven't actually given all their albums a fair chance. I don't want to commit to that. Well, you're welcome, Tino. Yes, I love Joy Division. One of my favorite bands. Do you listen to music in other languages? Yeah, totally. I'm totally cool with that. I just can't think of anything right now. Will you do a review of Yesterday and Today? Yeah, I'll probably talk about it, but I'll go at it from the angle of it being controversial, like with the cover. Why don't I like Michael Bublé? Because he's just regurgitating what was already done really well back in the 50s. Like, there's nothing really that interesting about him. I mean, he's a nice guy. I have nothing against him as a person, and he's a great entertainer. His music-wise, he just kind of bores me. What's the worst album I've ever listened to? Oh, man, I don't know. I try not to waste my time with bad albums. Are you much of a Pixies fan? Yes. But I honestly haven't given them a lot of love. Favorite Smashing Pumpkins song? Probably Disarm. Do you have a favorite rapper? Oh, not yet. Early 60s or late 60s? Late 60s Beatles. Do you like Bruce Springsteen? Of course I love The Boss. Oh, yeah. So Save the Boobies was a compilation album that we were on. It was a charity for breast cancer. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Unknown Pleasures or Closer? Probably, that's a tough call. I don't know. Probably Unknown Pleasures. Favorite indie album? I don't know, man. Steve, I will definitely review All Things Must Pass. I just passed. Pass. I just need to buy a copy of it. What, in your opinion, is the best record player for getting started? I think for the price and for the versatility, I would get an Audio-Technica LP120. It doesn't look great, but it's got a lot of functionality, and it's good for a lot of different setups. It's not like the best record for that. It's not the best turntable, but for $250, it's really good. And you can also spend more money on a decent stylus and cartridge. Favorite Beatles solo album? Well, oh, you know what? Plastic Ono Band is probably one of the worst records I've ever heard. But favorite Beatles solo album? Oh man. I don't know, man. Probably Ram, or the first record Paul McCartney did on his own. Favorite King Crimson song? Thoughts on Nickelback? Whoa! I don't have a lot of thoughts on Nickelback. I don't listen to them. Worst albums, did someone anything? I don't know what that means. I learned to play Yellow Submarine on guitar. Oh, that's awesome! Yeah, it's a fun song to play. It's really easy. Morbid question, but if you ever had a fire in your life, oh God, I live in California, man. I'm from NorCal. Would I quit collecting or start from scratch? If I lost my collection in a fire, I mean, I would probably start again, but I don't know if I would buy as much random crap as I have now. What's the most scratch record you've ever seen? I have a copy of Elvis Presley's debut album, and there's actually a chunk missing, and it's gone to hell. Where do I shop for vinyl the most? Online, Crate Dig. For new vinyl, I mostly buy online. But for older stuff, I love thrift stores, garage sales, and local record shops. Walls and Glass is my favorite Beatles song. Okay, cool, I'll check that out. Thoughts on Metallica and metal in general? Metal is a genre I never got into as an adolescent, and I'm only now kind of diving into it a little bit. It's not my go-to genre. Metallica, though, are amazing, especially their early work. It borders on classical music, in my opinion. Just phenomenal songwriting. Sgt. Pepper or Revolver? I thought I answered that. I can't remember what I said. What did I say? I think I said Revolver. I don't. I suggest. Okay, so cool. Okay, I will check that out. Favorite? I don't know, man. I don't know song names very well. I'm really bad at song names. I have to be looking at the track list to tell you what my favorite Death Grips song is. Favorite 60s Beach Boys album? It would be Pet Sounds. How do I dress when I'm not on camera? My hair is kind of to the side. T-shirts and jeans, generally. Oh, Walls and Bridges. Okay, gotcha. She said it's the most underrated Beatles song. Oh, yeah. Yes, they are starting to repeat. Yeah. Thoughts on Nick Drake? He's another one that left us too early. You know, honestly, I don't pay attention much to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, nor do I pay much attention to the Grammys. You know, I've been on for 2 hours. I didn't even realize that. I don't know how much longer. I do have to, I'm starting to get hungry, so I'll probably be on, how many people are watching right now? 53? Probably another 30 minutes, maybe another record. I've ever heard the Beach Boys Love You, and if so, what are your thoughts? I haven't heard it. I do like Sid Barrett. Thank you, Miguel. Favorite band of all time? I'm gonna go with my default, Weezer. Thoughts on the Verve? I don't know enough about it to have an opinion on the Verve. Top favorite bands on the top of my head right now. Okay, well, Weezer, David Bowie, the Beatles. I don't want to say Beach Boys. Pink Floyd, Radiohead. Thoughts on Queen? An amazing amazing band. I really wonder what they could be making today. I think they're one of those bands that would have continued to innovate. Britpop or grunge? Probably Britpop. Thoughts on Stone Roses? They are a band I need to look into. I've grossly not checked them out for so long. You know what's another great Beach Boys album is Endless Summer. I think I'm saying that right. I really like that album. Okay, so... Wait, what? The chat's jumping ahead on me here. You've never listened to any Weezer. I would... Pinkerton and the Blue Album. I mean, that's like your go-to. Will you review the new Weezer album when it comes out at the end of the month? I'll probably do a first impressions. But yeah, I haven't listened to any of the singles. I haven't heard the new National, but I want to. Oh, you're right. Endless Summer is a compilation. What is the one I'm thinking of? This is going to drive me nuts. I have to look this up. Since we're on the Beach Boys subject here. I know this is very, very amazing live work. Okay, hang on. What the hell is it? This is not albums. Jeez, they have a lot of albums. Do I watch Doctor Who? Yeah, I love David Tennant, but I haven't watched it lately. Surf's Up, I really like that album. Friends, Beach Boys' Friends. If you guys haven't checked that out, that's a great album. That's the one I was thinking of. Any obscure psych rocks you would recommend? You know, I'm really bad when it comes to psych rock. Thoughts on Kraftwerk? I'm just barely getting into them. Other than Blue Album and Pinkerton, I'd say the Green Album or Maladroit, or the White Album, or Everything Will Be Alright in the End, another great one. And I like Make Believe. It's a little cheesy. Yes, I like Ella Fitzgerald. I do like Stranger Things. I'm hesitant about the second season. I don't want to get let down, so I'm trying not to hype it up for myself. Favorite sound? Oh, you mean like soundtrack compilations? That Summer is actually really good. I talked about it on an early episode. What do you want to know about Flying Saucer Rock and Roll, Jacob? It's a feature film I made at the tail end of my college education, and that's how I met Josh Sankar, who helped me design the set and is my right-hand man when it comes to the show. And it was it's a film that is too good to be a bad movie and too bad to be a good movie, unfortunately. Some Queen, you guys want some Queen? I think I have a Queen in here. Oh, I like My Chemical Romance. Green Day I do also like. Do I have an album that I can't review because I can't be objective about it? I don't think so. Autobahn, yes, that is one I want to check out. Yeah, I actually dived into the early Doctor Who. I started watching some of the black and white serial ones. What am I saying? Like the shorter ones, like the 5-part series. And I really like, I think it's the 4th Doctor, the guy with the scarf. I love him. He's one of my favorites. I love The Thing by John Carpenter as a horror film. And there's another one by John Carpenter. I love John Carpenter's horror films. I love 80s horror films, especially. Favorite group of the 60s besides the Beatles? I really like Jay and the Americans? Is that right? I think that's right. Do you know Captain and Jazz? I don't know that, no. Thoughts on Ozma spending time on Borderline? No, I don't know that. Do you hate any band? Yeah, but again, I try not to spend a lot of time on stuff I don't like, and I mean, there's a lot of country music I really cannot stand. Modern country. I don't really like Alabama. Am I saying that right? I'm getting loopy here. But yeah. Yes, Tom Baker. Have you ever heard of any R. Crumb's music? I actually own 2 albums of his, Cheap Suit Serenaders. I love it. Thoughts on Talk Talk? I don't know enough about it. Favorite jazz player in the album? I really like. Why am I? John Coltrane, Miles Davis, great. Ever heard of the term video nasty? No. What? Corey Feldman? Oh wow. I don't know that. Do you like? Yes, Animals by Pink Floyd is awesome. You hate Nickelback. I probably do too. I just don't listen to them. Favorite Pink Floyd album? I haven't listened to all of them enough to really have a favorite, but I love Dark Side and I love The Wall and Metal. Post-rock. See, I don't understand these. What does post-rock even mean? I don't know what that means. Am I into world music? Depends on the artist. In general, like world music from the 90s really turned me off. I think I like thriller movies more than horror movies, yeah. Oh, one thing I did want to show you. Muse is cool. What zodiac sign? I am a Capricorn. This is kind of a funny thing, since it's like October and everything. Let me make sure this even shows up. So this is one of those 45 holders, right? And a lot of this, I don't even know what the hell's in here. A lot of like 50s pop music. But what's cool about it is that in the back of it, someone had posted this Halloween group photo, and it's kind of creepy, and it's from 1952. But I don't know, I just thought that was kind of a trip. The stuff that you find in records, you know what I mean? That's the reason I really like to collect, is the artifacts of the people who owned it before. I haven't heard Liam Gallagher's As You Were. Thoughts on The Cure? I mean, I love that man. Cool, I will check out some Ozma. How do I choose the best record? That is a great question. I don't know how you do that. Because there is so many different versions out that of classical music, because it's kind of in the public domain. Anyone can record it. Freddie, Michael. Oh, Freddie, Michael, or Jason. I was thinking of like Freddie Mercury or Michael Jackson. Freddie's always funny. I kind of have to go with Freddie Krueger. Old Boy. I've been meaning to check out Old Boy. Post-rock is instrumental music that drags out and is a neo-political archetype theme. If you like the song The End. Oh, okay, I didn't realize that was post-rock. Yes, I need to get into Godspeed, you Black Emperor. Favorite Beatles album has got to be the White Album. I don't know. I don't think I've heard of Out of Time by REM. I have to look it up in terms of the album cover. Out of Time. No, oh, I don't know that. I haven't listened to that. Favorite British movies. Oh, you know, I don't think of movies in that way. Like what it like, cause like I don't know. Is Star Wars a British film? It was shot in England. It had a lot of English actors in it. Do I have a favorite Beatles song? Probably My Guitar Gently Weeps. Do I still keep in touch with Ms. Mel, Professor Watson, Velvet Lapel, Auntie Vinyl? So I don't keep in touch with Ms. Mel. Auntie Vinyl, he is in Florida now, I believe, or she's in Florida. But Professor Watson's still in town, and so is Velvet Lapel. I just, it's not always easy to coordinate with them. They're both busy guys, and sometimes like I need to get the episode out, and I just can't wait. I love Phil Collins, yes. I don't know, Sam. I don't know what my most overrated album is. Hello, France. Check out the Needle Drops review of Corey Feldman's Angelic 2, The Core, when you have the time. Okay, all right. Thoughts on synth pop? Awesome. Do I like the Monkees? I did when I was younger. I have a hard time listening to them now. They're a little too sugary. What's the movie that you would recommend to anyone? I mean, I love Big Trouble in Little China. I haven't checked out Ted Leo's or Kyle Craft's new albums. Led Zeppelin's 1, 2, 3, or 4. I would go with 3. Am I going to review A Day at the Races? Probably. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how much of a what's the word I'm looking for? How much of a response or a demand I have for that. You like Nickelback, Josh? Well, that's all right. Thoughts on Eels? Again, I don't have a strong opinion on them. I haven't really dived into their catalog. King Crimson review. Yes, I need to get in on that. But what would be your choice? You like Led Zeppelin too? Yeah, great album as well. Who's Next by The Who is great. I like that. Peter Gabriel Genesis versus Phil Collins Genesis. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one. You know, I have a soft spot for the Phil Collins era. I mean, when he kind of took over singing. The honeymoon was fun. We went to Hawaii, and then my buddy Josh got married in Italy, so we took a second honeymoon in Greece. I haven't heard the new Weezer tracks. I don't know if I'll get into CCR as a review. People don't seem to really want that, so I kind of go by requests. Who has the most requests? Favorite Clapton group? Probably Cream. I love Super Unknown by Soundgarden. Great album. Favorite album of the 2000s? Oh man, that's already a decade, huh? Damn. Oh man, I mean, Interpol had a great debut. The Strokes, those are some great bands that came out at that time. I don't know, man. That's like, there's so many albums to think of. Thoughts on Blur? I don't have a lot of thoughts. Favorite concept albums? Oh, that's a good one. Oh, hello from Greece. I was just there. Oh, favorite grunge supergroup? What is that band? Temple of the Dog? Yeah. Favorite Since Halloween is almost on us, what are your thoughts on the band Typo Negative? You know, I need to listen to them. I don't know them. Favorite TV shows from childhood? The A-Team, MacGyver, Chips. Those were awesome. So Park Life from Blur, I will definitely check out. Yes, I definitely want to check out. I have plans to check out a review Bitches Brew. I'm not sure about Herbie Hancock. I'm not sure which album to check out. Any other female singer recommendations? Like new singers? I mean, Courtney Barnett is great. St. Vincent. Sharon Van Etten. Or Sharon Van Etten, I think is how you say her name. Favorite Sinatra album? In the, what is it? In the Wee Small Hours of the Night? What is that called? I always blank on the name of that. Oh, all right. So someone requested Queen. Let me see where that is. I gotta throw that on. Give me 1 second. I think it's over here. Let's see here. Let's see. Here we go. Oh man, I'm getting all tangled up. Sorry about the butt shot. Let's see. Let's try to be gentle about this guy. Alrighty. And so yeah, we have news of the world here up next. And where is A? Should be A. Okay, we're ever heard of 10cc? Yeah, of course. Herb Alpert's Whipped Cream and Other Delights, great album, or greatest albums. It's a great album. It's not the greatest. Do you watch any animated series? I recommend BoJack. Oh yeah. What do I like? I mean, I love South Park. Man, what was I watching recently though? I can't remember. But yes, I do watch some. I like Venture Brothers a lot, actually. Yes, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. That would be great. I don't know Deezer, so I use Spotify. Favorite music producer? Oh, so Professor Watson, he's still around. He still lives here in LA. He actually DJs under Professor Watson, so if you guys are ever in LA, you should come out and see him. But I don't always find time to fit him in, and then when I do, it doesn't always work with our schedules. So you know, I do always try to keep him in mind as well as Velvet Lapel, but lately I've been trying to get more reviews out, and I don't always have time to add him. So he's not gone. I just haven't written him in a while. Yeah, I do have a Last FM account. I think it's E. Calero, actually. Are you watching the Orville or Discovery? You know, I actually auditioned twice for the Orville, and I wish I had gotten on that show, man. That was cool. But no, I haven't watched either of those shows. I haven't listened to What's the Story Morning Glory, but it's in its entirety. I never owned it, but I loved it when it came out. That sounds weird. I just meant like when it came out, the singles really captivated me. Pink Floyd, Queen, or the Beatles? Shoot, that is really hard. I'd go with Floyd, I guess. I mean, yeah, they consistently have music I like or will want to listen to all the time. Yeah, well, you know, this record in particular, the spindle was a little too wide for it. But, you know, it's always hard when you're sitting down and trying to put the record on above you. But yeah, I should probably take more time with it. Have you ever seen The Commitments from 1991? Yes, I love that film. I actually saw it. I think I remember seeing it back when it came out, and I've seen it recently, and it still holds up. I do like the psychedelic genre. I'm always confused what is considered psychedelic and what isn't. I do like The Doors. I like Neutral Milk Hotel. Favorite live albums that aren't rock? Ooh, I don't know if I don't really like live albums, so I don't know. Okay. Thoughts on Selling England and Foxtrot by Jonathan. You know, I own both those, but I haven't given them a fair chance to really compare the two. You know, I like Gene Krupa, but I don't think he's actually considered a rock drummer. Slim Whitman. I don't know if I like him. The most expensive vinyl record in my collection would be my just from Yesterday and Today by the Beatles, the Butcher cover paste over. What band do I think has the best consistency in its discography? For better, for worse, Foo Fighters. I mean, it's super consistent. You know what you're going to get every time. And maybe Interpol. All right, see you, Miguel. Cats or dogs? I own a cat, but I do love dogs. Johnny Cash or the Beatles? I would go with the Beatles. Oh man, if I could only listen to one artist's music catalog for the rest of my life, who would I choose? That's too hard, man. I don't know, I guess... Are you including solo work? Because if so, I would just say the Beatles and all the solo stuff. Vanilla Fudge is psychedelic, really? Okay, yeah, I love Vanilla Fudge. Thoughts on Public Image Limited? I don't have any. Do you buy more vinyl online or in stores? It's about even. I buy new vinyl, I buy online, and used I buy generally in stores. Favorite stores in my area would be Vacation Vinyl. They just recently moved, and actually they're closer to my house now. First band you got you involved in the rock music? Probably the Beatles. Favorite Aussie band? Maybe Tame Impala? I don't know, that might be blasphemous. I haven't really given Aphex Twin a fair shake, unfortunately. Favorite bassist? I mean, I like Flea a lot, but I don't know. I don't know if he's my favorite. Thoughts on ambient? You mean like ambient music? I kind of like ambient music for working. My favorite Arcade Fire record would probably be Neon Bible. If you could only listen to Pink Floyd for the rest of your life, what album would you choose? Oh no, you're not gonna do that to me. I don't know. Thoughts on NXS? Thoughts on NXS. I wrote them off, and now I've gone to appreciate them much more. Favorite decade of music? You know, I think the 80s, well, I don't know, man. I kind of gravitate towards the 80s. Oh, thanks. Yeah, Big Al's Record Barn was a really cool episode. Oh, thank you, Original Bean. You know, I really don't know. I haven't really listened to Public Image Limited that much. Favorite movie soundtrack would definitely be Conan the Barbarian. Okay, all right. I wasn't planning on deleting it, but I don't know if I want to make the stream public after the fact, but maybe I will. Opinion on heavyweight vinyl. You have a 200 gram King Crimson, and I don't even know why they make it this heavy. Yeah, I've read conflicting things on going past 180 grams. I think it's kind of overkill and it actually can lead to more warping because it takes more time for it to cool. So yeah, I think anywhere from 150 to 180 is perfect. I don't think you have to go any heavier. I haven't really gone to a concert recently. A new artist that you guys haven't heard of, but I think you should. There's actually a record that's being shipped to me. I think the band's called Moon Drive. That's actually really good. Favorite Bowie record? I don't have one yet. My opinion on ABBA. ABBA's not my favorite, but there's one album of theirs that's actually really, really cool that I'm blanking the name of. It is, I'll get to that in a second. Favorite album from Stone's Throw. Man, they're all great. I don't know how you can pick a favorite. Oh, The Visitors by ABBA is actually a really good album. Yeah, the Father John Misty album, the deluxe edition, right? The new one. Yeah, a lot of people are having the issue of warping, and I do have a warping issue with that, but it plays fine. Yes, Altered States. That is a creepy album. Favorite Radiohead album? Probably OK Computer. Thoughts on Rage Against the Machine? I never got into them when they were new. I should probably look at them again. I do have an IMDb profile. It's my name, Eric Calero, Callero. You can actually look for Vinyl Rewind and you'll find it there, from there. Oh, what's up, Will? The golden record is just, it's something I got off of eBay. Someone made a gold record from probably some crappy record. I don't actually know what's on there. Buckethead. I've heard of Buckethead, but I don't know. Do I plan to see Death Grips live? Ooh, I heard that's an experience. I don't know. That'd be cool. Record shops. I really like Amoeba downtown. Or sorry, not Amoeba, in Hollywood. I do shop there, but it's I tend to kind of go what's closest to me, and that is Vacation Vinyl. I really like Metal by Pink Floyd. I don't know Greta Van Fleet. Favorite Smiths album? Well, yeah, The Queen is Dead. And I just picked up a compilation by them, and I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's like an orange cover. Favorite Beatles movie album? Probably Hard Day's Night. Yes, I do listen to ambient music. I like a lot of darkwave, synth-based music. I love that stuff. Tom Cruise, I like a lot, and Tycho, and I forget the other. Thoughts on Kanye? I think Kanye is an excellent producer, but I don't know how great of a rapper he is. But then again, I haven't really dived into some of his more revered albums. Okay, I will listen to Greta Van Fleet. Yes, I've thought about getting video game soundtracks on vinyl, but so far there hasn't been ones I've really wanted yet. Yeah, Meat is Murder. I definitely will check that out. All right, thoughts on music festivals? They're not my bag. They're not my cup of tea. I don't really like being around a huge crowd for a long time with nowhere to go. I prefer like shows, like where it's a small venue and there's maybe a couple bands playing. I like that. Oh, you know, the last show I did see was on Prince's birthday. I saw Princess. I saw Princess, which is a female lead singer Prince cover band. They're really cool. What's her face sings in it from SNL. Do I frequent the vinyl or vinyl releases subreddits? I don't really go to Reddit. Reddit kind of scares me. What's your favorite reissue label? Oh, probably, yeah, MoFi or Sundays, I think are decent. Rhino actually does some decent stuff. Rhino Records. It depends, but I think they do good stuff. You know, I think if there's enough response for Colors by Beck, I'll do a first impressions of it. Will you ever have any guests? Yeah, definitely. I would love to have more guests on the show. It's just, right now I'm a one-man show, so that sounds weird. Right now I'm pretty much the only one running the channel, so it's hard for me to kind of juggle everything and like reach out to people that come on the program. Favorite Weird Al album? Probably Dare to Be Stupid. Favorite Sublime album? I don't have one. Also, did you ever get the Vinyl Me Please pressing of City Music? No. I don't have a lot of thoughts on Mott the Hoople. I'm saying that right? Yeah. I don't. You said earlier that doing this show has taken up a majority of your free time. So what do you think you would be doing with your free time if you weren't doing this? Well, thank you very much. So Anime Boy asks, what would I be doing if I wasn't doing this show? And that's a great question. I've often thought about that. I enjoy cooking, so maybe I'd take up a cooking class. But I guess maybe I would be making more short films. I don't know. I really love doing this, so I'm excited whenever I get to put out a new episode. So I'd probably be like more into board games and like be introverted and like paint miniature figures, model cars. You know, I've tried to listen to the Swans. I don't know if I like them yet. Thoughts on I always say this wrong. This Is Real Gears by Cream. It's a great album. Yeah, I should really dive into it more, do an actual review on it. Do I like Robert Palmer? Yeah. Prince or Michael Jackson? It's gotta be Prince, all the way. Records and you're very welcome. Records and film. An album you thought was going to be good and that sucked. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there probably are. I'm blanking on that right now. I don't really listen to music on FLAC. I don't know if I have the best setup to really get the most out of FLAC. The music spot, you're talking about the Raiders of the Lost Ark? Yeah, I would love to get that. Because I think the original pressing of that's kind of hard to find, at least on vinyl. I have a cat. Favorite city in the world? Oh man, I love London. I don't know how many records I have in my collection. I really don't. I know I have too many. How about that? Chinese democracy sucked? Okay, I'll thank you, Catfish Hunter. Disraeli. Really? Disraeli? Disraeli Gears. Thank you. Gosh, I'm so bad at this. Favorite metal record? I don't have one. Do you do any sports? I run and I do CrossFit. Oh my gosh, I said CrossFit. I've been doing CrossFit since 2008. But I don't really compete in it. It's just something I do. I actually do it ironically. So yeah, I have 3 reviews in the making. The first one is Radiohead's OK Computer with a sub review of OK Not OK. Then I'm going to be doing Tame Impala's Current and their Satanic Majesty's Request by the Rolling Stones. I also want to do a first impressions of Beyonce's Lemonade. The mic that I use, it's a Sony mic. I don't know the model of it. I'd have to look at it. Excuse me for 1 minute. This might be loud. I don't know what it is. Sorry if that was loud. It's a Sony mic. I think they still make them. If you could have any guest appear on your show for an interview, pick their brains, or just, I would love to have Weird Al. Oh my gosh, Weird Al is the top of my list. What is my white whale? Oh, Johnny Burnett Trio's debut. What record stores do you go to regularly? Vacation Vinyl. They were actually closed for a month because they had to move. So now I've been going to them. I just went to them last night. They just reopened yesterday. Favorite Beatle? George is my favorite. Whoa, come back. Thoughts on Eminem's freestyling dissing Trump? I am conflicted on it. I don't really know Eminem that well, and you know, I think there is a place for artists to talk about politics, and I think Eminem is one of those artists that has done it in the past. So I think it's okay. I think for like pop artists, it would be kind of weird. Blade Runner or Akira? You know, I've never actually seen Akira. Overrated bands and artists. Foster the People I thought was overrated. Am I going to review the... I just lost it. Where is it? Angel Olsen Phases B-side LP. I don't know. I'll check it out. Thoughts on Mike Oldfield's. You mean Tubular Bells? I love that. Yes, okay. Yes, Duke. Okay, not okay. It's awesome. I'm curious why you don't do jazz reviews. Oh, so when I first started the show, I did a lot of music I was into. I love jazz. But now I've been going by requests, and I keep track of people's requests, like unique requests. So right now, Radiohead OK Computer has gotten the most requests of any other album. So I'm going to do that first. And then I just kind of go down the list. And by and large, most people don't listen to, or they don't request jazz albums. I would say Miles Davis Kind of Blue is probably the most requested jazz album, and it's not even that requested. All right, so this is the last record I'm going to play, and after this is done, I'm gonna head out. At what age did I get into vinyl? I was probably in 12 or 13. Houses of the Holy is great. I do like AC/DC. Is it lucrative doing what I do? No, it is not. It is not. I just do it out of the love of it. I probably, like currently right now, I probably make $2 to $3 a day, if that. I mean, I've done better this year than I did the previous year, and then that year I did better than that previous year. So it keeps going up, but right now it's not sustainable. I completely fund this out of pocket. I have Spin Clean as a sponsor, but they basically keep the giveaways. They pay for the giveaways, so it doesn't come out of my pocket. But yeah, but other people do. Some gaming YouTubers make a lot of money. Why George? Why? I feel like I really relate to George Harrison as a personality. He's more introverted. I like his music. I like the songs he wrote. I like the way he wrote them. He's a guitar player. I just relate to him more. Music guilty pleasure definitely would be Dude Ranch. I can't think of the name. Why am I blanking on the name? Blink 182. I don't have Blue Album in this room right now. It's upstairs. Cherry Garcia or Chunky Monkey? Cherry Garcia. I haven't heard J.D. McPherson's new album. I am interested in Hawaii bands. Yeah, I mean, Steven, are you talking about like new Hawaiian music? I'd definitely be interested. I don't, sorry man, I don't know how many records I own. I own too many. Listen to Caretaker. All right. You think Queen is overrated? Okay, fair enough. Oh, you're welcome, Spin Me Around Store. You're welcome. Do you like Bobby Vinton? Yes! Where are we now? Do cover artists annoy you? Yes. You're welcome, Tino. Are you going to review any of Weezer's? Yeah, I'll definitely check out Weezer's Pacific Daydream. I'll probably do it as a first impressions. Favorite Prince record? Sign of the Times, and I really like Planet Earth as well. I think that's an underrated album of his. What are you going to do with the look of your garage? Oh, what you're doing with the look of your garage I love. Oh, yeah, yeah, totally. You should do something similar. Have a pad, man. Favorite Tim Burton film? You know, I would say Night Before Christmas, but he actually didn't direct that. So I would say Edward Scissorhands. I don't know if I have a most underrated musician. I don't know. Underrated to who, really? The general public? That's kind of a tough one. How did you do the show's background? Like this, behind me, we bought panels, wood paneling from Home Depot, and my dad cut slits in them. And then the brick is Home Depot paneling as well. Just, you know, put a frame around it, put them together. Oh, here's a good question. If money wasn't an issue and you had to choose between continuing your acting career or continuing Vinyl Rewind, I would probably continue Vinyl Rewind, because I feel like they kind of feed the same, and you know, acting career, you're not always in control, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, so far Kurt Vile and Courtney Barnett, I really like the singles. I have yet to listen to the album though. Favorite 70s group? You know, I really like Boston. Duke, I don't really like the White Stripes that much either. I think they're kind of overrated. How many days was I on the Runaway shoot? Just like a half a day, not even a full day. Your best concert ever? Weird Al. Have you ever heard Hawaiian bands like Kala Puna? No, I don't know them. I might have a donation page at the website, but I don't remember. Favorite song on London Calling? What is it, Supermarket? I think that's what it is. But Train in Vain is also really good. Let me see, I have to remind myself what the track listing on London Calling. Okay, I'll check out JD McPherson's new album. All right. Oh, non-cheesy rockabilly. I'm always down for that. Have I thought about doing movie reviews? No, I haven't. Favorite Hitchcock film? I really like Vertigo. What do I think of Prince's films? Well, Purple Rain is amazing. And I do like Under the Cherry Moon, but Graffiti Bridge it's hard. It's hard to watch that. Favorite Boston song? I don't know if I have a favorite. Thoughts on The Who? Again, yes, I'm Lost in the Supermarket. Yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. Favorite label and album cover? I don't know if I have a favorite. I really like Atlantic record labels. There's something about them I like that. Favorite musical film? Singing in the Rain. Fleetwood Mac, that's such a tough one. I kind of like the Peter Green stuff, but I have a soft spot for the Buckingham Nicks stuff. I have not heard Mad Villainy yet, but it's on my list to listen to. Weirdest albums I've listened to. A lot of Tiny Tim stuff is really out there. Plastic Ono Band is weird. Yeah, Wide Awake. I'm Wide Awake in It's Morning by Bright Eyes. Yes. I have a love-hate with Bright Eyes. He kind of gets on my nerves sometimes. Thoughts on Kurt Vile? I like it. He doesn't like grip me. like he's sort of background music for me, but I do like it. I love the Velvet Underground, and I've been meaning to cover their debut for a long time. Nirvana, yes, Nirvana. I grew up enjoying Nirvana, definitely, but again, I need to get back into their whole discography. I haven't heard the new St. Vincent, but I plan on doing it. I've never considered myself a music connoisseur or a music expert. I'm really just a guy in a cheap suit. But no, I am an avid music fan. I really am. I like what I like, and I try to do reviews that aren't so in the head. And I've never been a snooty guy when it comes to music. I think music can be enjoyed by everybody. The new LCD sound system is amazing. Stay tuned for Tuesday. Well, thank you, Harrison. What's your bass set on? That's a good question. It's like, it's pretty far up there, but I have it down low right now. Oasis or Blur? You know, I don't know either of those bands well enough. Favorite festival? I don't have one, man. Oh, man. Who's been here the longest? Who's been watching for 3 hours? That's what I want to know. Considering music quality, impact, and culture, favorite music movement? I would say the 60s, like the mid to late 60s, because that really created music, pretty much set the groundwork for like music today. Yeah, I have Animals by Pink Floyd. But funeral songs, ooh. You want to know funeral songs? You know, I don't think about that much, but that's a great question. Can I do a video helping people calibrate their turntable weight? Sure, yeah. So Oscar asked, what's the golden disc in the background? And it is, it's a prop. It's nothing. Someone on eBay sells cheap gold records that they vacuum metallized. So yeah, it's just a prop. Can I do a top 10 list for beginning people for genres like top 10? Oh yeah, like must buys, like what you should have in your collection. Yeah, that'd be cool. Thank you, Steven. You know, I think I might do a Patreon. Would you be interested in that versus PayPal? Let me know your thoughts. I have one Boomtown Rats on vinyl. I forget the album name though. It's got the I Don't Like Mondays, I think, on it. Summer Days, Summer Nights? I don't know if what is that? Summer Days, Summer Nights. Favorite fast food joint? Oh, I like Taco Bell. But if I have a choice, I would go to Del Taco. Oh, wow, Tino. Welcome. Cool. Oh, and Lisa too. Awesome. Favorite big band leader? I really like, favorite big band would be, played clarinet. Why am I blanking on his name? This is driving me nuts. I can't think of his name right now. Benny Goodman. I love Benny Goodman. Best song on the White Album, My Guitar Gently Weeps. What's up, Ed McMuffin? Oh, you're welcome, Vizlor. You're welcome. Thoughts on music of John Carpenter? I really like John Carpenter. I did enjoy Lost Themes, but I felt it was a little aimless at times. Like he didn't necessarily know how to end stuff. That may be blasphemous to say, but cool. Thanks, Steven, for saying that. Dark Crystal or Labyrinth? Ooh, I'm gonna go with Labyrinth just because of David Bowie. Favorite? Oh yeah. How many records do I have? Too many. What do you think of modern rock bands? Wait, what do I think modern rock bands need to do to captivate people like in the past? Yeah, rap music really is, hip hop is definitely, it's bridging the gap. I was at a wedding recently and I never thought this couple would even listen to Kendrick Lamar, and like one of their favorite songs was playing Kendrick Lamar, and it was crazy. I think it's really hard to bridge the gap because with the internet we're so like divided in our own little pockets. I think rock radio sucks these days. They just continue. They'll play like one new song, and then the rest will be songs from 20 years ago, like from the early 90s. And it's just there's not. I don't know, man. I don't know what rock musicians have to do to. But I think Queens of the Stone Age have a fantastic album out, man. I think if that gets more airplay, I mean, that's going to get people out there. Yeah. What's Stevie Wonder album do I recommend? Songs in the Key of Life? Is that a good one? I forget. Would I rather listen to music stoned or drunk? You know, I haven't really been stoned that often, but drunk, I would say. I'd say lightly buzzed. Which Beatles box set are you really waiting for? You know, I guess to answer that, I would say I've been wanting to get the mono box set. Harrison asks about the Kinks. I really like their earlier stuff. Their stuff in the 80s kind of got weird. I don't know if they're my favorite band. You know, I liked the Killers when they came out, and I never really got past their first album, so yeah. Favorite content creator? I actually watch a lot of, I like Tech Moan, and I like Tested with Adam Savage, and Lazy Game Reviews, and yeah, those are kind of the big ones I watch. Yeah, Kanye West, his ego really does get in the way, unfortunately. I would choose Bug Life over Ants. Is Otis Redding was 60s, huh? Favorite 70s soul band? I don't know, man. A radio station or monthly playlist? Yeah, that'd be cool. Metallica, you know, I need to get into them more. I haven't heard Smoke Ring for my Halo. I haven't heard that. Thoughts on Rush? Rush is great. Best Aurora song? That's a tough one. I don't know. I'd have to look at. I use star ratings on my iTunes. That's how I keep track of that stuff. Okay, Kinks. Arthur by the Kinks. Okay. I have two guitars. I have a Takamine from 1978, and then I have about a 10-year-old Electromatic Gretsch. Thoughts on Blonde by Frank Ocean? I'm frustrated that there hasn't been a release on vinyl that's easy to get. The Beatles or the Beach Boys? The Beatles. Any good recommendations on what Sam Cooke albums to pick up on vinyl? Yeah. I have to look at the album cover though. I can't remember the album name. Oh, got one more song left. What is the most you spent on one record? Hey, Romania. Most I've spent, on one record. Shoot. A new record. I bought. I haven't spent that much really. Okay, Not Okay was an expensive one. And the Sgt. Pepper's 50th anniversary I thought was kind of expensive. Let's see, albums. Yes, I like My Life in Gaming as well. I watch them. Their technical stuff is amazing. Curtis Mayfield. I like Curtis. All right, the music spot. See you later. Podcasts, I listen to NVC, and Uncommon podcast, or no, the Pat Contry one with that he does, the Not So Common. What does he call it? I forget. CCR, Grateful Dead. I go with Grateful Dead. Does an album cover enhance the experience of the album? It does for me, especially if it's like textured in some way. Sam Cooke. I haven't listened to Godspeed You, Black Emperor yet. Favorite guitar solo would be Freebird. See ya, Vinyl Boy. Do you ever watch comedy Bang Bang? No, I haven't. I didn't know that. You're welcome, Kevin. Sorry, this thing keeps moving around on me. What's worse, a bad, mediocre album or song being successful, or a good, interesting album song? Oh, good, interesting album song being unsuccessful. I mean, it's great as a crate digger to find those, though, to like discover an awesome 7-inch or album. Oh, Mr. Soul, thank you, Steven. Are there any albums you feel like you have to listen to on vinyl to get the full experience? Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon. To me, like Weezer meant so much more to me on vinyl, which seems odd. See you, Harrison. Yeah, Tame Impala's album art is really great. I can't think of another modern album. Worst instrument? That's a good question. I think the thing where they sing into a tube can be hit or miss sometimes. Do I think most double albums are too bloated? It really depends. I think some bands can really carry it, but I feel like Melancholy and Infinite Sadness feels a little too big for its britches. But that's like a quadruple album if you get it on vinyl. I listen to old country, but I don't really listen to modern stuff. Oh, a vintage repair shop? I think there's a place on Sunset right in front of... I don't know, it depends on where in LA you live. There's another good place on Ventura in Sherman Oaks. Yeah, Pink Floyd vinyl tends to be really expensive. All right, guys, I am going to finish up for the day. I have to eat some lunch and use the restroom. But, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Oh. All right, guys, save the questions for next time. I'll probably try to do it. I don't know if I'll do it every Sunday, but I'll try to do these somewhat regularly on Sundays, and I'll probably have some other people on. So if you got a chance, be sure to fill out my poll I was doing as well. It's as a card. All right, guys, thanks so much. Catch you guys on the flip side.